Hi, my name is Destiny Davis.
I'm Takaria Pyatt.
I'm Makala Garvin.
And I'm Talia Ford. And as you can see, it's the homecoming game.
Yes, we actually have a freshman starting with our varsity football team. Like that's crazy.
Jalen Wester, number 45.
So be on the lookout for him.
Yeah, I feel like it's completely crazy how a freshman can appear in a game like this. This is amazing. When has this ever happened? Has this ever occurred, like a freshman playing in a game like this?
I think so.
It has?
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Tonight's game is red, black, and white out.
As you can see,
Tiger pride never dies.
you know.
Yes.
Wait, we think I didn't even do it.
Yes, Tiger Pride never dies. That is what we are talking about tonight.
So we actually got a chance to talk to Jalen about how hard he worked, and he said that the coaches just felt like he deserved that spot. He worked harder than anybody, you know. He kept up with the big boys, and we're really proud of him.
Yeah, and we stayed at practices certain times, and we noticed that he really does have that in him. Like he has that. He has that. It's very good.
Also, we have another freshman. His name is Trell. He couldn't make it tonight because he's sick, but he was working hard also to be out there on the field.
Yeah, he really was. All practice.
Today we're out showing our school spirit.
Because it's homecoming week.
Yes.
So we have to show our school spirit all the time. It's
Tonight game might be really good.
Yeah, and you guys, the last game, was a complete blowout.
What was it, 69 to 0?
Yes.
Our Tigers dominated
Amazing.
Lakewood Ranch. It was amazing.
Amazing. And I feel like that this game tonight is going to be the same exact way because we are going to put a lot of effort into it.
Yes.
Because it's Spirit Week. Who wouldn't? We all are showing our Tiger pride, so why not? Why wouldn't we win?
Yeah, I feel very confident about this game.
We go around asking the students how they feel, and of course they're going to say the Tigers are going to take that W tonight.
We are, because Tigers don't take no L's.
Never.
We don't.
Yeah.
No, we work. They work. Really
Our boys work really hard.
Yeah.
Every practice, we come out and watch, and they work very hard.
Amazing.
And Marino has been really pushing them this week. They've been working them hard.
Marino is a very good coach, and I'm pretty sure all the boys appreciate him.
Very much.
Marino was putting those boys to work.
Yeah.
He was really pushing them, and I think they really have it in them to blow North Port out this week. You know, tonight is going to be an epic game.
Yeah.
I really have a lot of faith in our boys.
And I went around the school asking people how they felt, and pretty much all of them were saying that they're gonna kick butt tonight because it's just amazing how they perform every game. They put in work, even if it's a loss, they still put in work, and I feel like it's just such a good thing for tonight. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think our team has gotten 3 wins after that loss that they took.
Yeah.
I think they really stepped it up.
Yeah.
They didn't want to feel like that anymore.
When the loss hit them, they started putting in work. They put in their most effort. So of course they're gonna do good tonight. They don't have any choice.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna put their all into
Even
this
with their
game.
bye week, they were still going to practice and working.
Yes.
It's
Still
amazing.
being pushed just as hard as if they had a game that Friday. And I think they're really ready for it tonight.
Also, a couple of players that you should watch out for is number 21, John Wester. LaJonte Wester, that's number 1.
And the reason being on saying this is because in practice we noticed that they really do a good job. They practice like it's a game. Every time we see them, they always practice like it's a game. So it's real. You should really watch out for those two.
You also notice that every game, John Wester at least gets 1 interception every game, at least 1.
We all know LaJonte brings his all game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys should really watch out for number 17. That's Anthony Marino. Keep an eye on him
Yes.
because he's been working hard.
He takes
Very
over
hard.
the field every time.
He dominates every time he touches that field. He plays like it's the last game he's ever going to play.
It's completely amazing. The strive that the players have in them it's amazing. I feel as if that they're fighting for something like it's something very, very, very important. And for this game, it really is because it's homecoming week. So of course.
They play like they're fighting for something bigger than just football. This means everything to them.
It's their life. They love doing this.
Everything.
Yeah, they love
everything.
it. And you can tell in how they play that they love doing this. So it's very amazing to see.
And also, our trainers did a very good job this
they
week.
Really did.
Keeping our boys hydrated and making sure they were okay after they got hurt, you know, with their injuries.
Yeah.
Our trainers, great job.
They're amazing.
Great job.
Great job to the trainers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I feel like
as you guys will see later on in the game, we have the football players have their pink on because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
So I feel like that's a good thing that they have on pink.
Yeah. It shows a lot of, you know,
support.
Yeah, it really shows that they care a lot. So they're not only good football players, they're also caring people. So that's great.
they're all really sweet individuals too. Like,
and hopefully a little later you'll get a look at our hype crowd, because PHS hype crowd is always the best. They're always loud and rowdy. We might give you a first-hand look at that.
Yeah.
You know,
Watch out for that.
let's take a look into the Tiger Den, you know? Like, let's get a little bit more familiar with each other.
It's like amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
we need to have more to say.
we're like right
Oh, number 24.
24?
No,
Nine.
Raekwon Crawford.
Crawford.
Crawford, yes.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for him too, as
Yes,
well.
he's a good
And number 7, Johnny Jones. Johnny Jones. Like,
And
keep
number
an eye out
9, Allison Bradley.
Sejal Hickson.
Sejal.
All of them are very
Like,
good players.
Those are just some people
yeah,
we
it's very hard
happen to
choose
see
from.
at practice working their hardest.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see this, like, stay after school and see them play. It's like going to a game every single day. Like, they do an amazing job, and I completely love it. Do you guys feel the same way?
Their energy,
I thought I was
their
the only
enthusiasm,
one.
their motivation, all of it is there.
Yes, it's amazing. And then seeing it, it's like, and we move around, we ask questions, we ask how they feel, we ask how they think they're gonna do, and they give us the complete best answer, and it's like a good feeling. It's like we're all a part of it. Like, that treat us like family in a certain kind of way.
I know the last home game we did the pre-show for, we showed you guys a little sneak peek into the Tigers and, you know, first-hand look. But honestly, it's better to just be there when the action happens. Like, it's
definitely.
There's no, like, explanation for the way we feel when we're watching them practice. Like, they really put their all into it. It's amazing. Like, you just have to really
You have
be
to
there.
see it. You gotta, like, I can't describe it. They put their all into the practice just like they put their all into every game.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we did not create a video for this pre-show game.
But we will definitely have a video next week.
We got you guys.
So we got you guys.
Yeah.
And we didn't forget about you,
We
you
did
know?
not forget.
We didn't forget. We are actually working on something right now. So be
And it's
sure to
gonna
tune
be amazing.
in to the next week's
Very sure.
pregame show, because it's going to be one to remember.
It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be
Definitely.
amazing. Of course.
And we're going to show you what happened this week that we filmed when everyone was getting ready for homecoming. Like, we have some nice footage for you
Yes,
guys.
it's very-
Don't worry. Don't worry. We got you
You
guys.
may even shed a tear or two. Just maybe.
You know, maybe one or two.
Just maybe.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all love.
It's all love. Yes.
Nothing but love for our boys.
That's all what Tiger Pride is. It's like a big, happy family. We show
Exactly.
love and support to anyone.
One team, one town.
No. Yes.
It's amazing, though.
Just one big family.
One
So,
family.
and you guys are our family too.
Exactly.
You guys watch us all the time.
All the
Not just
time.
us, but anybody else handling the shows.
Yeah.
You guys are family too. We love you guys.
We
So,
love everyone.
just don't forget to tune in next week,
Yeah,
because you
don't.
really do not want to miss out on this footage. It's epic.
It's epic. It really is.
Epic.
We put in a lot of effort into this, too.
A lot. And I feel like you guys are really going to enjoy it. So,
And that wraps it up for the Manatee County pregame show. Let's take it back to the booth.
we're off.
won't be on technically when I'm reading the intro sequence, and I'm just going to ad-lib the whole intro.
He hasn't decided how he's going to do it.
You're watching TigerVision, presented by Conley Buick GMC on PalmettoTigers.com. TigerVision is made possible in part by Conley Buick GMC, where we treat you like family. Proudly serving Manatee County since 1966. Garrett Richard, workers' compensation and payroll solutions for construction, agriculture, and high-risk companies. Clicking Spree, where we put your business on a clicking spree. DeVito's Auto Repair, where for quality auto repair, visit DeVito's Auto, serving satisfied customers since 1978. Keaton's Office and Art Supply, real fast service serving the business needs of the community since 1951. North Manatee Realty, serving Palmetto, Ellington Parish, and Manatee County. Richardson Stinton Roofing, locally owned and highly experienced. Richardson Stinton Roofing. Rico's Pizzeria and Pasta House. Rico's now with a Palmetto location on 8th Avenue. Boyd Insurance and Investment Services, winner of the People's Choice for Best Insurance Agency in Manatee County for 8 years in a row. Remedy Employer Services, our favorite local PEO, providing payroll, services, benefits, and so much more. Superior Asphalt, superior quality, superior service, superior asphalt. Yagardi Architecture and Associates, architecture, planning, interiors, Yagardi Architecture and Associates. Kiwanis Club of North Manatee, proudly supporting Palmetto, Ellington Parish, and other surrounding areas. Spartan Air Services, serving Palmetto, Ellington Parish, and the Manatee County area. Hungry Howie's of Palmetto, come join us and watch the Tigers. Great food and always a great time at Hungry Howie's. Wing House of Ellington, proud sponsor of Palmetto High Sports. Bring your friends and join us for some great wings. Asa Power, located in Palmetto. We are an electrical contractor with over 25 years of experience. Florida Patio Furniture. As you get the shot here, we're sitting in some fine Florida patio furniture here. Resort style pool and patio furniture, designing furniture for your business, home, and garden. TigerVision is presented by Conley Buick GMC. It's now time for the Manatee County Fair pregame show. Hello, folks. I'm Brian Varnador. We welcome you to Paradise here at Harllee Field in the jungle here at Palmetto High School. Tonight we have a great matchup for you. It's an in-conference game, and it is just a very important game for these Tigers. The week prior to the Venice game appears to be a trap game, so a very important game for the Palmetto Tigers tonight here. Well, we've got a beautiful night sky here. Sunset is on the horizon. It's probably a crisp 79 degrees right now as we approach the kickoff. We're looking for some very exciting football. I'm going to turn it over to my broadcast partner, Mr. Rick Wells.
Thanks, Brian and Kenny. Welcome, Tiger fans. It's good to be back here tonight and really nice to be back at home. Last week, the Tigers really laid it on that Lakewood Ranch team. We really couldn't learn too much from that game, guys, and no disrespect to Lakewood Ranch. We just dominated the entire game from start to finish, 48 minutes, a 67-0 score when it was all over. So tonight is important for the Tigers to remain consistent with their offensive and defensive play. We have to continue to improve on some of the things that we have really been lacking all year. And what I see the most, I see some mental focus, some breakdowns, some discipline breakdowns, some penalties that we just should not be making at this time of year. We are going to have about 6 starters out tonight. We're going to have at least 2 on offense, and I think when it's all said and done, 4 on defense. So you will see some other players that will be starting tonight in place of these some of these dynamic starters for the Tigers, especially on the defense. But tonight on paper, we know what trap games can do. We should dominate tonight. We should come out here and be able to move the ball offensively and defensively, just continue to improve, guys.
Yes, the Tigers have manhandled the Bobcats in 5 prior matches, giving up only 20 points in the game, and 3 of the last 4 were shutouts. What I'm looking for tonight, Rick and Brian, is again those little small mental mistakes. Tonight, as I've said in these last 3 weeks, these are the pre-games to the big game. And tonight we're at the rehearsal dinner. Next week is the wedding, and we have got to be crisp. The silly, crazy mistakes, the offsides, the encroachments, the personal fouls. If we don't get that to right tonight, we will be in a big heap of trouble next week. That's one thing I'm going to be looking for. I'm not all that concerned about the score as long as we get the W. The second thing is when you play a schedule, you're going to have a week or so where bad things are going to happen, and I want bad things to happen tonight. And when I say that, you could have bad weather, you could have bad field conditions, you could have players suspended. That's not a good thing. Going into a district game, these games are all important. You can have bad referees, you can have bad calls. I want all that to happen tonight so that next week everything's going to be good that's going to happen.
Yeah, and with that thought, Ken, I was thinking hopefully with the guys here, the production staff, and the crew, we have all kinds of issues. We can have the trailer tires being flat on the way to the game to get set up, and the guys out there do such a good job in the trailer. I wanted to thank Nick Batchelder and the gang out there. Bad things, and guys, we certainly can have a bad night here as calling the game for our many Tiger fans we out there. And several of my friends have called me on several occasions to let us know that, Brian, you had a bad night, or keep your day job and things like that. So, but this night, what you want to correct, early on in the season we had the defensive offsides penalties, as Rick mentioned. And then for 2 weeks we cleaned all that up. And then last week it was back again where we had 3 of those offsides there, and really those things, as Rick mentioned, is not something that you can do next week against a very powerful Venice Indian team. The Venice Indian teams with a score, they did play North Port already, right, Ken?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the score? I'm sure it was a running clock game, and I believe it was, what I looked at today said 69-1. Probably somebody put that in there incorrectly because I don't know how that happens, but it was a blowout. And that Venice team is a very strong, very disciplined team. And one thing, when you do play Venice, that's not a team that's going to be jumping off sides, making mistakes, having to call timeouts because the right personnel is not on the field. And that's one thing that tonight, with some key players missing, it'll be interesting to see how the Tigers arrange that and work things out.
Well, that's good stuff, Brian. And what I'm looking for tonight is I'm looking for some of these younger players that are going to have to step up and make an impact from a starting position, because they're going to come in here for the first time as starters, and I think that's a good thing. We need to have this playing time for them. We need to get them into a serious game time situation, not just the second half when we do have a running clock. You want to get them in there when things are tight and we're trying to make a difference and get the momentum going our way. You know, the biggest thing, you've already talked about it, what has bothered me the most this year is the offsides on the defense. Those are penalties that we should not be getting. These are simple things to correct. And, you know, it starts at Pop Warner. Dog it, just watch the ball, defensive line. All you got to do is watch the ball and move when it moves. And for some reason, we've had a huge issue this year with just maintaining the focus and not having. And some of those penalties have come in critical times in some big games. So once again, we just need to try to maintain focus 48 minutes, and let's get out of here with a win tonight and then get focused and start preparing for Venice.
Yeah, I was talking to Derek Marino before the game. He's going to be on the offensive side of the ball. I go, it's been a whole year since you've ran a pass route. You think you could still do it? And he was pretty confident. And I go, well, then the next question, well, you think your brother's going to throw it to you? He might be a little rusty with those hands. And he seemed confident, and I know his work ethic, and anxious to see him, see what he can still catch that ball.
You know, he's a great possession receiver. He had a huge game in the Pinellas Park playoff win last year, big catches in that game. And Derek Marino has been, you know, brother gets all the press being the quarterback of the team, but Derek Marino, he's shown us he's our punter. He's been out there playing defensive back. And, you know, even he's got one kickoff in his repertoire from a game last year where he did kick it into the end zone after a penalty. So he's 1 for 1 on kickoffs. Not being returned there. So Derek Marino is a very fine athlete, and it's nice to, you know, we have fun with Derek, and Derek's a fun guy. And I'll tell you, you know, this is so beautiful tonight. We've got that sunset on the horizon, but right now we are in absolutely the toughest seat in the house because we're slightly downwind of the Hungry Howie's hospitality tent. And I smell collards, and I smell some pulled pork, and which makes it very entirely hard to focus on the job at hand here, guys.
There's a cobbler over there. I'm not sure what flavor, but it's always good.
So you might lose one of us here. But, you know, this year with Palmetto Tigers and so many things that are going on with the Boosters Club, it's just been such an exciting year to be here in the Palmetto community. Reminds me of the good old days, and it's so much fun. And if you're not able to be here at the game tonight, we're very happy that our Tiger fans are TigerVision, as sponsored by Conley Buick GMC, are watching here. And we did pass the threshold. We were voted the #1 live internet broadcast in the world, and we've been seen by many states. But we've been seen, viewed by all 50 states in one game. And I think the countries is 23. So we appreciate all you viewers out there and up there in South Dakota watching us tonight here on TigerVision. And we thank you all. And you TigerVision fans are the #1 internet broadcast sports fans in the world. So you're #1. And so thank you for all the support of our TigerVision fans.
Just want to say something real quick when we talk about some of the suspensions that we've had this game is that the one thing that I just really admire about Coach Marino is that, you know, he demands that his players remain disciplined, not only in a football game, but also in the classroom. And he doesn't care who you are. If you betray that command that he has and you mess up, and if you mess up on the field and you do something wrong in the classroom, he is going to sit you. Now, sometimes that may be for a quarter, sometimes that may be for a half, sometimes that may be for an entire game. But he's been consistent with that type of discipline since day one as a coach here at Palmetto. And that's, you have to commend him for that, because it's not all about W's for him. It's about teaching these young men how to be productive adults and what they need to do to get prepared for life. And I just want to throw that out there, because he wouldn't care if this was North Port or Venice. And you can't say that about a lot of coaches. He would be sitting these young men to teach them a lesson that will help them later on in life.
Yeah, you definitely got to have the discipline. If you want to have a championship season, it generally goes back. You can have all the greatest athletes, you can have the greatest coaches, but it comes down to learning a system and believing in it, believing in each other on offense, on defense, and the discipline. And for the Tigers, they're going to need that discipline. In the playoff picture, just real briefly, we are still on the outside looking in. We currently rank 10th. The top 8 teams go. It's a little convoluted. But anyway, we have to win tonight. And if we win, if we can knock out Venice next week, gentlemen, and then go down to Charlotte with the strength of schedule that they have, we will be sitting real good. So we're fortunate where we control our own destiny. The problem is if we get by tonight with the win and we lose to either one of those, we could be on the outside looking in.
All right, now we're going to bring in the boosters, Tom Porter and Jennifer. They're going to come in here. The real talent's making the way here. And one thing that Bill Britt, of course, is making his way in here too. You know, as a little bit of coaching that I did, and, you know, with the help of the parents, and, you know, it's really not, high school coaching is not about making money, it's about making men, you know, and that's one thing that is really important. So we're going to bring the pros in here, and we're going to work our way up to the press box.
Night homecoming. A lot of energy in the air, a little different than normal. The humidity seems to have died down. The wind's picking up. It's really nice and comfortable out here. And I've seen a lot of people come in. Just a minute ago, I saw the crew of DeSoto pull in. You know, they always like to come up with the music playing and dancing. Oh, yeah.
Eye of the Tiger,
Eye
of
of the Tiger. They have a good time. They do. It's great. Just another example of support that we have here in Manatee County. Jen, talk a little bit about the atmosphere tonight.
It's definitely exciting. We got a lot earlier start than we generally do. A lot of hard work and hours went into Bill and a big crew tonight. Lots of our staff helped, so thank you to everybody that helped. But I think tonight we have 2 reunions going on? 3. Yeah. Class of 98.
98, 93, and 73.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And we do have some from 78 as well. So we've got a lot of representation tonight.
That's great to see. Great to see the participation by all the classes. I know there's been some coordination by some people in the community from Palmetto trying to do this as an annual thing, trying to get all the classes to come together and maybe not just celebrate, even though we are celebrating a 20 or a 15 or a 30-year reunion, more so just celebrating Palmetto and all classes being welcome and coming to the game. And then I understand there's some after parties and things that are going on. Do you have any information on that?
Yes, we started over the summer with Jen's help. We started the Alumni Association for Palmetto High School. It's never had been formally organized, and we put some structure behind it. Go to our website, tigerforlife.org, and if you are a graduate, please go there and fill out your profile page. There's no cost for membership. It just plugs you into all the goings-on at Palmetto High School, and you will be getting email letters and announcements when we're going to do special events like this. This is our first year doing the hospitality and getting the classes here.
And it's quite busy tonight. It's exciting.
And going forward, we expect this to, really just blow up and get bigger and better every year.
That's great. We've been doing the halftime show for a few games now, and every week we always go to Jennifer for what's good at Palmetto. So, Jen, what do you got tonight?
Yes, because tonight at halftime we'll be the King and Queen crown, right? So, first of all, huge shout out to Jen or Jenny Bell, however you want to say it. She won Manatee County Counselor of the Year. She's one of our awesome guidance counselors. We have wonderful, wonderful counselors that put lots of hours here at Palmetto. So kudos to her. It's very, very well deserved. And of course, the big thing this week was homecoming week. We started Tuesday with because we didn't have school Monday. Tuesday with Generation Day, so there was lots of baby bottles and canes and pillow behinds. It was quite, the kids embraced that quite well. It's fun to see. And then Tuesday night, we capped it off with our first annual fight night, where at the expense of our self-esteem, I would gander to say, I think there were 10 of us staff members that dressed in sumo suits. Stinky, sweaty, oversized sumo suits. Not the blow-up kind, the really heavy kind. And we wrestled one another.
It's funny you say that because I believe Jordan has a picture of you in one of these suits. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get it up in time. We're a little rushed right now, but we got a picture of you, which I'm sure we'll find time during the broadcast to put up of you.
Oh, excuse us.
We're going to stand by for the Pledge of Allegiance.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
I don't know about you guys, but that's one of my favorite parts about Friday Night Football is that starting national anthem there. Okay, Jen, back to you.
Great job by our chorus tonight, by the way. So, yep, we had fight night. Wilkes and Rui tied for a championship. Might have been Wilkes, but that's another argument for another day. Then we obviously had Decade Day. This was really cool. There were a lot of vintage, meaning their parents' old Letterman jackets. So there were a lot of cool Letterman jackets. Obviously, their parents were Palmetto alum that the kids were wearing with pride. They had a little pep in their step when they were wearing that coat. And then, other than that, we're just excited about the game. Great spirit today. We had a couple pep rallies at the lunches. The football players got introduced, and we had a DJ, so the kids were super excited about tonight.
That's great. Bill, is there anything special going on tonight in this area for homecoming that's different than any other Tiger game?
Well, yeah, of course, we invited all of our alums to come into the hospitality area, and many are taking advantage. Hopefully we'll get another camera shot later on. You can see that we're well attended in this area. And this is a new feature that we added this year through the Booster Club. If you join Boosters at the red and black level, you get access to the catered food from Hickory Hollow Restaurant. It's been hugely popular, and it's just one more added amenity that we're trying to add to the game atmosphere. I just wanted to give that quick plug. Join Boosters, $5 a month. The IPFAM program, I pay $5 a month. Every dollar that you contribute goes back to the school to support our young people and the programs here at Palmetto High School. So go to PalmettoTigers.com and click on Join Boosters. And if you can, get out to the game and get into the hospitality house and enjoy all the amenities we have here.
That's great. It wasn't too many years ago you come to a Palmetto High School game and you get a hot dog or a hamburger and a drink, and that was it. And now we've got Chick-fil-A, we've got what else? We got pizza,
Popey sweet tea.
We got Checker burgers, I'm told, and now we've got Hickory Hollow. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. There's no other school in Manatee County's got a hometown, home cooked Hickory Hollow style barbecue meal. What a great
by a Palmetto alum.
By a Palmetto alum, of course. So.
Which, speaking of Palmetto alum, Tom.
Yes.
Aren't you a Palmetto alum?
I am, absolutely.
What class?
1994. I see some of my fellow 1994ers out here. We called it 1990 quad back then. We were kind of silly, so 1990 quad. So you were probably in elementary school, and Bill was probably retiring from a job somewhere. So.
Did you actually graduate? Did they give you
Well, they forced me to get out is what it was. They wanted me to leave, so one way or another. So pretty much, I just kept coming to school. I mean, it's a $1 lunch.
Came every day?
Every day. You couldn't get me to skip. All the girls were here. It was $1 for lunch. I mean, why would I stay home? Why would I stay home? All right, guys, it's time to take this up to the booth to Kenny and Brian and Ricky. Here you go, guys.
Hey, thanks very much. And this is Brian Varnador here with Ken Burton Jr. and Rick Wells up here in the box. And tonight the team captains out there are number 65, Luke Gullett, Anthony Marino, Reese Lyon, and did not quite get a look. Maybe I'll have to check that out here in a little while. But I wanted to say happy homecoming to all of the Palmetto Tiger alum here. It's a great homecoming here. Ken and I remember our time here in 1980, 1981 as we went through. And Kenny's way older than me. But as Coach Dan Whidden has the fog machine in rare form, here comes your Palmetto Tigers. Ken, tonight's game, if you looked at the sideline, what the expectations would be, and we're looking through the rosters right now to the preview of the game, you have a very, very small in number team over there. Only one player on the roster is a defensive player only, and then there's one kicker on the roster. So I thought that was a tale. One thing you can look for in a game like this, typically a lot of these teams will come out and play tough, but the depth here will become a problem later in the third and fourth quarter.
Yes, absolutely. When you look at a 7A school that two platoons, especially in one of the toughest districts in the state of Florida, for sure in 7A, it is looking up at a big mountain in the sky trying to climb that thing, and it's just too big. Sooner or later the depth will catch up with you. They have probably as many fans over there as they have players.
Yeah, I do want to say this, guys. I remember last year playing in North Port. We were on their home field, and they were hurting then, and I'll say it. They lose a lot of their talent to Venice, and we know that. But I'll tell you this: that last year I was so impressed with the heart that these young men had. They were playing both ways. They were tired, but they played an entire 48 minutes, and they gave us a rough time in that first quarter, if you recall. And they were no pushover, but they're well coached. They have a lot of heart, and I just enjoyed watching them, play and give it their all.
Between Port Charlotte, and Venice, the teams around them, they have a 20-4 record.
Oh my! So now Gonzalez approaches this, get a good kick out of great service for our friends at DeVito's Auto. Returner gets it at the 5-yard line. He is at the 25 tackled there, so he's going to be down at the 25-yard line, and that's going to be Robert Washington, with a return.
So once again, we just the special teams on the kickoff, especially and punt return, they have impressed all year. And we talk about this every game, but it really is impressive to see the coverage downfield and how we're able to pinpoint or push back the opponents and keep them deep on their side of the field. And it's really helped the defense out several times this year, guys.
Absolutely, and we're all decked out in pink tonight. We're pinking out this place with a great homecoming crowd.
All right, so the quarterback now is Stefan Johnson is taking this one under center, and he's got one in motion, and that's going to be Zach Kelly in motion. Now the second receiver in motion is Ryan Taylor. Johnson hands it off, and he's going to be tackled there. Good play there by the line. It looked like that coming across the line there was number 44 here, and number 44 is Mikael Brown, a 6', 200-pound junior for the Tigers. Nice tackle.
Yeah, I do. I talked to Coach Kuchar right before the game, and Derek is in his regular defensive position right now, and if offensively they need him, then he'll have to pull him. But right now, Derek's there on that weak side linebacker position.
All right, now he drops back. Boy, free rush by Marino there, and he steps up, and there is Dozier Jr. for the tackle.
Yeah, that was all Marino. They're pushing him out of position and giving our defensive front an opportunity to stop that from making a huge gain. Yeah.
Excuse me. Watching Floyd Dozier, boy, he was. You could see his mouth was watering there. He was ready to knock him out, and it's only the first quarter.
And Johnson back there looked like he had eyes in the back of his head to step up and not try to throw. If he loads up and throws a pass there, he would have been hammered by Marino coming in off the edge. Now John Wester is over here in press coverage. They have two receivers out there to the left. Quarterback fakes it, rolls to the left, looking down the field, and it looks like he's going to go for the first down. And tackled there after a big pickup on the play.
Wow.
Yeah, so right there, and we talked about this last week. I mean, our defensive ends they've made that mistake several times where they'll give the edge up and they'll either try to crash in and make a sack, and our defensive ends are out of place. And because of that, they pick up a first down. So once again, we think we can't get past tonight and think past tonight, but next week, that's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, and our defense, we had a lot of threes and outs in these last couple of games before we surrendered a first down, and they got it on their first drive.
So with 10 minutes and 4 seconds, they're going to take this one out under center. One back in motion. Johnson takes it, and he hands it off to the back, running to the center field. Good play there by the defensive line. Charles Miller involved in the play also. You only have 11 out there on defense. And tonight, how many are we missing on defense, Red?
Well, I think right now we're missing Mike Goff.
Okay.
And I think that's it right now because Derek is where he needs to be. So offensively, we're missing several playmakers. But that play right there was Matty White crushed up the middle on that one, and so he's still learning that linebacker spot.
He's made a great transition. He's still learning.
2nd and 10 now for the Bobcats. In motion, and they run a little toss play to the right, stepping up, and he goes for about a 2-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, once again, you got Matty White in there to push him back in, and then you also have number 54 Dozier, who cleans it up. But Matty is just really, for someone who just stepped in here a few games ago, I'm so impressed with the way that he has played the linebacker position after coming off of a defensive tackle position for his entire career. The top Warner, Kenny.
Yeah, I'm impressed. They're coming out here. Hey, we're going to try to ram this down your throat. That is 5 straight running plays.
So 3rd and 7. Johnson takes this when he fakes it. Now he throws it out there. He got a good block out there, nearly intercepted out there. But a good block by the receiver out there, incomplete pass, and that's going to bring up a punting situation for the Bobcats.
Yeah, that was good coverage by Day-Day. He was right on that guy. Not a good throw, not a great decision by the quarterback, and Day-Day almost picked that off with one hand.
Yeah, had that been a better throw, that kid's just a sophomore, the quarterback. They had it lined up, but we were ready for it. So mission accomplished. They get a first down, then we get the 3 and out. Missing.
Okay, to punt this one away is Nicholas Castor, who's listed as a wide receiver defensive back, and he's going to kick this to Jonte Wester. So Castor to Jonte Wester. Only one single back there to protect, and he rolls it out there. A very high kick, and it's short, and it goes out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So good starting position for the Tigers with 8 minutes and 24 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, what stands out to me again tonight, just like last week against Lakewood Ranch, is really the size difference that I'm already seeing with the two defensive fronts and offensive side as well. The offensive line doesn't look very big, Kenny, for North Port, and their defensive line doesn't look much bigger. So, we talked about this last week. We should be able to dominate up front. That's what I want to see. I want to see dominance up front, and these O-linemen pushing the D-line for North Port back 5-10 yards.
Anthony Marino in the backfield, and there's Wester in motion, jet sweep. He's got 5, 6, and he's going to be tackled after an 11-yard gain out there. So first down, Jonte Wester. Palmetto Tigers starting out, and Jonte Wester, I was looking at some of his statistics on the season. He averages 31.5 yards per game. Palmetto lines up in a 3-receiver set that's out there. Sajel Hickson, he's at the 50. He's at the 44-yard line. Great play there when Palmetto Tigers in a hurry-up offense there.
Yeah, so Sagel's going to get a lot of work tonight since Bubba is out. Also on that last play, just want to give kudos to Kobe Mays. What a good block by a receiver on the outside, something that we're going to desperately need as we continue through the rest of the season into the playoffs.
All right, Marino has this one, and he has that one to Johnny Jones, and he's got first down and more for about a 14-yard gain on the play, Johnny Jones.
Yeah, nice tackle, open field tackle there by Joseph Anderson for North Port. That's not easy to do against Johnny Jones, but nice job by that young man to kind of attack the ankles and get Johnny down. That's the way you want to do it.
Two receivers out here wide. Marino's out here wide. Johnny Jones with a nice cut in the middle field goes for about 6 yards on the play. You know, I want to talk about Johnny Jones. 451 yards coming into this game, an average of 5.78 yards per carry and 8 touchdowns. So Palmetto now with 2 receivers on each side. Anthony Marino looking to field over. Looks, throws it out there, and that's going to be toward Kobe Mays out there, and a circus
he caught
catch.
He caught that with one hand.
He caught that.
Was that Sagel?
I think that was Sagel Hill, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to see.
Sagel Hickson comes out.
Made that. Yep.
Yeah, on the wheel route. Oh my goodness, what a catch!
Oh my goodness,
Sagel.
He looked like the dude from the New York Giants catching that thing.
That was
Sagel Hickson. Great catch. And now Marino has a very jumbo set here. No receivers in the formation. Hands the ball off. Johnny Jones takes a big hit driving forward, and he's in for the score. Johnny Jones.
Yeah, nice power run by Johnny. Just get behind that guard and that tackle and just shoot through that A-gap. And good offensive series. We always talk about it, Kenny. We want them to start fast, and they've done that in the last 2 games.
Well, yeah, they came out with the no huddle and big chunks of yards on a 68-yard drive and about 4 or 5 plays with a simple dive for the score. Off to a great start again.
Now Gonzalez is going to kick this one through, and Marino is back there going to hold and nickel with a snap. Good snap. Good spot. Kicks up, and it's good. So with 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, your Palmetto Tigers lead this one 7-0.
Yeah, and Gonzalez has been automatic with the PATs this year. I think we talked about it before. Maybe one that he's missed, but, just seeing so much improvement with his kicking game here this year. And, once again, that's something we may have to rely on later on in the season, guys.
Well, he made 9 last week. He was 9 for 10.
He should be warmed up.
He should be warmed up. Yes.
Rick, going back to what you said earlier in that drive about the difference in the defensive and offensive line. We were looking at our defensive line versus their offensive line and saying, "Oh my, we're so much bigger." But man, our offensive line towers over these guys, and they're just pushing them around. I mean, I don't know if you guys were able to watch any of the line play on that last drive, but their defensive line was completely being pushed at will around, and the holes were just massive. I mean, just definitely manhandling them, and hopefully we continue to do that the rest of this game.
Hey, thanks for that sideline delivery, sponsored by Rico's Pizzeria. And Tom Porter, always Johnny on the spot here. 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Gonzalez approaches the ball. A high kick, get a kick out, a good service. That one goes 2 yards.
Yeah,
deep touchback.
That's easy for you to say, Brian.
I'm telling you. Those DeVito guys, in Ellington, they've done so much fine work on my cars. And I get to talk so much about those guys when the offense is out there scoring 69, when the Tigers are scoring 50 and 69 points a game. I hear that DeVito's auto in my sleep these days, guys.
Anxious to see what North Port, if they keep trying to establish the run here against our defense.
Yeah, and you can see that the guard there is very not the tallest guy.
Maybe 5'8", 5'7", with his shoes on.
He's probably one you would want to pull. They roll to the left, look down the field, and he overshoots both receivers. I want to talk a little bit about the balanced offense here, guys. To this point in the season, and this is amazing, 1,490 yards rushing and 1,683 yards receiving, 30 touchdowns rushing, and 18 that are on the receiving. So it's pretty amazing. And talking about the rushing offense, check these average yards per carry here. Johnny Jones 5.78. Corian Brown 7.69. Sajel Hickson 5.84. And we'll go down the list. LaJonte had 31.5 coming in this game. But now that Johnson is waiting the snap on this, they move, no call, into the middle of the field. And almost had a little bit gap there, but it goes for no gain on the play. But the team average, check this out, with 1,490 yards, 216 attempts as a team, 6.9 yards rushing per game. And in high school football, on the sacks, that goes against the rushing yardage. Even Anthony Marino, with his quarterback sneaks, has averages 8 yards a game. Now, that's a formula for success. If you can average as a team over 4.5, that's good. But 6.9 yards per carry is great. And we'll talk about the receivers later. Johnson looks at this when it's a third and about 9. And great play out on the edge. And let's see, that's going to be Floyd Dozier Jr.
Floyd Dozier.
And Tom, from your vantage point, can you believe that big 275-pound young man can make that play on the sideline?
It's pretty amazing, actually, because, you see the quarterback out by himself and you think, oh, man, he's going to get a big gain. But in reality, the closing speed is what it is. It's, they can react so fast and just explode to the ball.
You know what I like the most about Floyd? He's a sophomore.
Oh, that's a good thing.
That's awesome, isn't it?
That's a good thing.
And watching the replay, he just basically worked the line, and when the quarterback broke out, he just met him there. And like Tom said, the closing speed.
And then, when it comes to the interior line, little guys that can run fast are great, but big guys that can run fast are something that you'll see on Saturday and Sundays. And that one's going to be a short punt. And Wester wanted to come up and field that one so bad, but had the discipline there to let that one roll. So it's going to be spotted at the 48-yard line. Tigers, again, with an excellent field position.
And probably a smart idea to just stay away from that. You're tempted, but whether you're getting it on their 45 or midfield, it's not going to make a lot of difference.
I agree. And, I think that's a smart play by Jonte just to let that thing roll. And I do want to say this, we were going over stats, but Matty White right now has really taken over this game from the linebacker spot. He is all over the field. Him and Floyd right now are just lighting it up. And Matty is so aggressive and a lot quicker than we could have ever imagined from a tackle position, but Matty is just lighting it up right now from that linebacker spot.
Just imagine if we had it at Manatee and Braden River where we got gashed up the middle.
Yes.
What a difference maker.
Yeah, absolutely,
yes.
Tom, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. Brian, talking about these stats on the rushing, if you're running 6.9, that's like an option offense quality. But what's even more impressive on the rushing touchdowns is that 8 different players have scored. So you have to prepare for pretty much the whole all the depth we have to stop them.
And that's just half the story. We'll talk about the receiving group here in a bit, but Palmetto is running this offense so fast tonight. Sajel Hickson across the formation. Marino looks for the long ball down there, and that's going to be Kobe Mays. He's got it, and they're going to say that he's out of bounds. Now, the referee was in very poor position to make this call.
I don't know how he would have known that.
That's a hard call to make from the middle of the field.
He's in the middle of the field trying to look at the footwork of Kobe Mays. So,
yeah, Kobe Mays with a great catch. Looked to me like he had at least 1 foot inbounds there on the catch, but that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, he can see a little closer than we can, don't you think?
No, he's in the middle of the field.
He's in the middle of the field, and we're way up here in the press box.
Yeah,
so we're looking down on the field, so we can see better.
All right, now.
Just run it again.
Marino looking things over. And Wester comes in here in the backfield. Marino hits the slant out there. It's going to be short, throwing out there to Derek Marino.
Okay, well, there's something I need clarification on, because there have been several times when we have seen the defensive line come across the line, not make contact, get back, and we have an offsides penalty. I just saw the defensive end for North Port do the exact same thing and not get a call. So I'm not understanding that ruling.
You can't do that in high school football. That is a penalty, and I think you knew that answer to that one, Rick, setting it up. Thank you for that softball. That was nice.
Oh.
Now Marino not ready for the snap. Takes it. He's running, and he's got a 2-yard gain. Looking for a block. He's got the first down over there. Great play by Anthony Marino. Heads up.
Once again, great job by Anthony. Wasn't ready for the snap. Catches him by surprise, picks it up, and does what a true leader does. Just makes something out of nothing.
He knew right where
I
it
also
was.
believe that was a late hit out of bounds. That was not called, but
He did not have the benefit of the marker, yet he knew where to go.
4 minutes and 50 seconds remain in this one. Marino run patch option, but he hands the ball off, and that's going to be a first down. Running hard is Corian Brown. You know, Corian Brown, a track guy, and the beginning of the season he used to run kind of high, and Rick and I had talked about that, but he's hard to distinguish from Johnny Jones these days. You know, he really is fantastic.
It's that north-south acceleration from the track.
Oh, great toss.
There's Corian Brown, and he gets a block out there. There's a flag out there. Corian Brown running hard.
Yeah, now we've got flags all over the place here.
Yeah, we're going to get a hold out there on the receiver. You know, Corian averages 7.69 yards per carry, and he's not doing anything to – that number's going up tonight.
And if you can average that on first down, that really opens up the playbook on those second and shorts and third and shorts. It starts with a run.
So I know the coaches, they go over this every day in practice, and you know they really do a great job of trying to eliminate these penalties. But it's really something that we have to get better at. These receivers, they do a great job blocking, but sometimes they get those hands in there a little too tight. You'll see them holding, and we all know what happens if a defensive player turns their back. It automatically becomes a block in the back, which we totally disagree with, which is not the rule. But we gotta try to cut down on those mistakes. That's really going to hurt us.
Next week, we can't have it.
All right, Marino with an empty set this time, and we have 4 out there going across the formation. Look at this one, Sajel Hickson, and he tries to spin off a tackle, so he had no gain on the play, loss of about 1 there for Sajel.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by Chris Butler, the linebacker for North Port. He stays in his position and makes a very hard tackle on Sajel Hickson.
Looked like he was bobbling a little, or he wasn't sure if he was going to catch it, so that kind of messed him up.
It was kind of low.
Great play call. I love the play call.
See if Anthony Marino will look over to his brother's side. They're shielding the safety over this side of the field. Derek Marino out here wide. Handoff, and it's Johnny Jones, and he's running wide, and he's got a first down on the play. Great run, Johnny Jones. And, you know, guys, with the statistics that we're going to be talking about a little bit with the passing and the rushing here, we don't talk about the offensive line. They are awesome this year.
Yeah, that was a great vision, too, by Johnny. You know, we had good blocks. He saw that he wasn't going to be able to cut it up. He just goes, a couple more yards, cuts it back, and picks up a big first down there for the Tigers.
Now Marino looks, throws it out there. Kobe Mays, and that's going to be – he's pushed out of bounds. It's going to be pass interference on the defender out there, and then a little of a force out there. And so it's going to be let's see what we got here.
Well,
let's see what it is here. Yeah, I don't.
Well, we're assuming that he came down out of bounds.
Looks like they made the motion like it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, but
pass interference defense.
Okay. Pass interference defense. So Tom, it looked like the call on the field was that he came down out of bounds.
Yes.
Okay.
The interference counted obviously, but he did land out of bounds.
Okay. So, and again, you get to see, the receiving group that we have they're so dynamic in what they can do. But the receiving group now looks like they're sorting this out. They might have called this a offensive pass interference. Let's look at it on our North Manatee Realty replay.
Yeah, it's just a 50-50 ball going to our premier guy there. Nice slow motion there by our crew. Looks like his feet were in.
I can't tell. It looks like maybe.
All you have to have is one.
You only have to have one, but couldn't tell where that right foot came down.
Just run it again.
So now it's 1st and 5 after sorting things out, and then going for the end zone there, running hard there, and that's going to be Corian Brown again. And Corian having a great night tonight already. So the Palmetto Tigers now lead this one 13-0. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remain here in this first quarter.
Guys, we talk about the offensive line blocking, but man, these receivers are really locking these DBs up. It's opening up this outside. Every time the running back gets the ball and pops outside, there's nobody in their face. They're all being engaged, and it's hard to get a receiver to stay engaged on the block, but that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've always been impressed with these young receivers coming up is they understand that responsibility, and because of that, we've been able to pick up some big yards this year on that outside, on those jet sweeps, on those quick out passes, because we've got a body on a body, Kenny.
Right, you can't average 6.9 yards per carry for the whole season, not without the line. The line, the backs always will praise their line, but it's right. It's those receivers getting downfield to make the difference so that they can continue their runs.
So with that, you had a perfect snap by Braden Nickel. He continues to impress me, and he's a junior. He's 6'1", 185 pounds, and he's getting into that range of those long snappers, and he does a great job on punts. Now, obviously, the Tigers are not punting very much lately, but Nickel with a good snap, and of course the spot by Marino, the kick by Gonzalez. So your Tigers lead this one. Here it says 14 on the board, but that's 21, isn't it?
No, it's 14.
It's 14 on the board. I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're still. I think you're
a couple minutes ahead of us.
You're still back at the Lakewood Ranch game. We had a week in between, Brian.
Okay, all right.
It's been a long week.
83 points here in the last almost 5 quarters.
And I have my rose-colored glasses on. That's why I'm seeing pink on the field. No, that's for cancer awareness out there. Your Palmetto Tigers are in their black and red helmets with the pink gear on tonight. Tried to slide my way out. I get a kick out, a good service. This one's going to be fielded there. He cuts it to the middle of the field. Good coverage there by the kick return, kick defense unit, and that was going to be Wells on the tackle. Nice tackle in the middle of the field.
I know he's been eating a lot this week, so I think he's trying to bulk up here for Venice. He's been eating a lot. Going back to what you said, Kenny, if you go back to last week, I don't believe that Derek punted one time.
No,
right,
he didn't.
During that, right?
No,
So, and depending on what happens here the rest of the game, he's not most likely going to have a lot of attempts out here, and he's going to be a little rusty.
A little rusty, definitely.
And coach, offensive coordinator out there, Ty Stolt, I'm going to have to talk to him about this. I wanted to get some stats in while the Tigers were on offense between plays, but if that hurry-up offense, there is absolutely no time.
He's blindsided you. I'll fix him. We'll just do the hurry-up.
There he is taking that away from me tonight. Now Johnson takes this one and run to the middle of the field. Big hit there.
And there's Matty White once again just clogging up the gap. And now I'll go back to what Tom said. If he would have been in that position during that Manatee game, I think they may have won the game. It would have been a different outcome. I know that, because a lot of those big runs that Manatee had against us was not going to happen if Matty White is there, because that son of a gun is putting some hits on people here these last 2 games.
And linebackers have a knack, the good ones. They look like a running back. As the play opens up, they appear in that hole, and I hated that as an offensive lineman when you're blocking and you have that nice hole up and the linebacker appears right in the hole as you've opened that up for the back, and that's what Wyatt's doing. He fills that gap. And big hit.
And there's Derek Marino. Derek Marino goes from soft hands to hard head. I mean, look at that. He went from that receiver position right back to the linebacker spot. One thing I like about Matty is that he's blowing up that tackle, and he's forcing that play to go somewhere it's not supposed to go. And then when you do that, you've got everyone in position to cover it up.
It's learning and being comfortable playing with each other, and you're seeing it tonight, and we're definitely going to need our deep. If we'd have had that against Manatee, the camaraderie and the trust, again, like you said, it could have been possibly a different outcome.
Yeah, and you really got to give credit to Coach Cucci and Coach Marino for making that switch.
And Lee Matthews was out there in the defensive line, a 6'4", 290-pound player that usually plays offensive tackle. Johnson looks middle of the field.
We got to pick that.
And that's going to be broken up. Oh, come on. And there's an interference call on the field.
They must be calling it against Wester. That's the only one that was even close to a receiver.
Crawford missed the interception.
Yeah,
he had it.
Crawford never touched anyone there.
No, he was going for the ball. It was clear.
Yeah, that's absolutely not.
Let's pick this one up on the North Manatee Realty replay and see if we can have a better look at that.
There it is, the magic.
So Johnson looks, fakes the pitch.
Plenty of time.
And there's the throw.
Slow it down, guys. Oh, our guy. That was Crawford going for the ball.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, brother.
Well, I wanted things to go bad tonight. We want bad so that we can work on getting ready for a tough matchup next week.
I don't mind bad. I just don't like terrible.
Yeah, well, true.
That was a terrible call.
Terrible. So that brings up a 1st and 10.
Let's get him out tonight.
And a quick hitter in the middle of the field, and that's Dozier, just across the line of scrimmage. And that was an amazing quickness there. Yeah, Dozier, he will fool you. He looks like a linebacker coming through there. You know, when he makes plays that quick, you just can't believe it. It's a defensive lineman.
Well, he has the east-west moving horizontally, vertically, whatever, that impresses me. He moves very, very nimble for a big guy. Well, 10th grader.
Yeah, when you got Dozier and you got Rumpf over there together, they make a great team.
Yes.
And now they take this one and hand off Marino. Oh, it's a nice fake actually on the play, and Johnson keeps it, and he goes for a 4-yard gain. And Brian Bussell in the public address says nice fake by Vincent. So the fake got me, and I think
he definitely got me. I thought the running back coming our way had the ball.
Okay, now 15 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Palmetto Tigers lead this one 14-0. No hurry by North Port, so they're going to let this one expire. So we're going to go to the end of the first quarter, and it's coming winding down to zeros. 14, North Port 0.
I think a good effort so far, well balanced on the offense, running, passing. Defense, they're playing lights out.
Yeah, the offense
14-0.
We've had the ball twice. We scored twice. Defense has done their part. I mean, we gave up some field position only because of a questionable call. But looking at a 3rd and 4 here to start the start of the second quarter.
Yeah, 3rd and 4, and they're going to work this one out here. And I was looking for a big fancy truck, generally between the first and second quarter there.
Our commercials.
Conley Buick GMC, our proud TigerVision name sponsor there.
It's on the crawl. And on our crawl tonight, you're going to see some key games that our producer Jordan has put on there that are for our region, that games that we're watching. There's the Bloomingdale Plant City game for sure. There it pops up. That's one we're going to be watching. They're both ahead of us in the playoffs. Gulf Coast is ahead of us in the rankings too.
Rumpf coming down now. They get the ball out there, and that's going to be number 35 on the play. Zach Kelly with a nice catch, so it goes for a first down flag on the play.
So Zach Kelly is that tight end that we always seem to have an issue with, and we go back to Braden River for the last several years. So he was out there, by himself, makes a nice, easy catch, picks up the first down. Not sure what the flag is. It may be for a late hit, but.
Now how we have it is a personal foul on the Palmetto Tigers for a late hit. Right on the spot is Rick Wells. 11 minutes and 52 seconds. Now here's a scoring opportunity. The Bobcats have the ball on the 30-yard line.
Palmetto 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
1st and 10. Johnson looks things over. He's got the tight end in motion, Zach Kelly. Now he has Nicholas Castor in motion. Castor's a good player too. And number 5 gets it in the middle of the field, goes for no gain, and filling that was Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt blew it up, and then everybody else just stepped in there to clean it up. But once again, Matty's doing his job. The one thing that you need for those linebackers on a running team like this is you got to fill those gaps, and you got to come up and make sure that they don't get past that first line. And Matty's doing his best to keep that from occurring.
Yeah, he is filling that on time. I think of Michael Jackson and Thriller. I think we're going to have to call. I like Wyatt Riot, but we might have to call him Filler. I mean, he is there on time. Now they look for the middle screen. Nothing there. He avoids a tackle. Johnson gets a block there, and he's going to be tackled after.
That's Derek Verino once again, Brian.
3-yard loss.
But he ran like 18 yards from side to side, just trying to get through it.
John Bembry blew up the play and forced him back in so Marino could make this stop. I thought John was going to get him there, but
guys, that wasn't even a tackle. That was like a shrug. He didn't even, he didn't even wrap him up. He just shrugged at him and he fell down.
It worked. I don't care what happens as long as it works.
Now here's your first quarter stats provided by Steven Johnson in our TigerVision Atlanta studio, and it's Palmetto dominating the game. 10 minutes and 17 seconds remain. Johnson looks, third down and long, and good penetration by Bembry early on that. Big hit coming up there.
That's Reese Lyons trying to.
Reese Lyons trying to force a fumble out there late.
He was trying to stop that scrub.
I believe that was number 70 who lined up at receiver last week. Remember old Jimbo, we were trying to figure his name. Number 70, that was him.
All right, number 70. Good call on that one. And we're working on some things up here in the
technical difficulties.
But 70, and we'll get you his name and number here soon. But now they're going to kick a long field goal. And, I didn't look at the line of scrimmage, but I can tell you this one would be a 48-yard kick from this spot. And that's going to be the kicker. And it's blocked.
Oh, he blocked it.
And it's picked up. He's got it. It's Crawford. Can he clear him? He does. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and he scores.
Wow. Great job.
Great job.
Wow.
Number 24,
Boy, talk about
that was Crawford.
Talk about an opportunity to score for them, and then we turn around and it's a 10-point swing.
Yeah, well, Kenny, he's got to try to kick that thing low to get that distance that he needs, and we were Johnny on the spot, got those hands up, and that's not something that you can really practice a lot at. And good job by the defensive front there for the Tigers to get those hands up there and block that.
You guys know I was standing right on the sideline, and that play all depends on the bounce of that football. If that ball just takes a sideways bounce, he's not going to have it. He catches that thing clean, and, man, there was a tunnel right down the sideline. Amazing play.
So Raquan Crawford shows his speed. There is the snap by Nickel. The spot by Marino. The kick by Gonzalez. So your Palmetto Tigers lead this one now 21-0. 9 minutes and 7 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Now when I have a chance here, I want to talk about some completions and receiving yardage that we have. This is pretty impressive too. The Palmetto Tigers as a team averages 15.88 yards per catch this year. 15.88 yards per catch. Now let me break this down. Johnny Jones out of the backfield has 111 yards receiving coming into the game with 12 receptions, 9.25 average. And Corian Brown 6.67. But check out some of these. Sajal Hickson with a 15-yard average per completion. LeJonte Wester 21.62 yards per catch with 433 yards. He's the leading receiver. And Butler with 14.52. And we have to mention David Burston here when he's been injured. He had 2 catches and 16.5 yards. He's been injured for a while. We missed David. But and then Kobe Mays 17.81 yards per catch, and Curtis Thomas 17.92 yards per catch. So over an average 15.88 yards per catch for this dynamic Tigers receiving crew. There's a kick by Gonzalez, very, very high, fielded at the 10-yard line. He's at the 15. Tries to make a man miss, doesn't, and that's going to be 14. And number 14 had such a great game last week. That's Xavier Walker out there.
Yeah, just another great job by the kickoff team. And, we have to go back. I mean, I guess we could kind of call that block and touchdown kind of a special teams play. Couldn't we, Kenny? Can we kind of put that on special teams? We didn't have one of those last week.
I don't
think
think
have a special teams touchdown or turnover.
Yeah, a block is for a score that might be our first all season, possibly.
Well,
I can't recall any.
Now, last weekend, it's such an exciting game, because we have the Wyatt family that's put 3 guys through here, and the Bembry family last week, and the older brothers were great players. Well, last week, the Kidd brothers, we had Wyatt, Matty Wyatt, with a touchdown on an interception from the linebacker position, and then Big John Bembry from the defensive line.
Right, that's right.
And they're telling their brothers, hey, you 2 guys never did that.
That's right.
On the same night here playing for those Palmetto Tigers. So there's a stoppage of play there. Looks like we have, let's see.
Flag.
Let me count them out there. I think there's 11 out there, maybe a legal substitution. Let's see.
I don't think we know.
Okay, it is being waived there.
Oh, I think you know what? He was using that Common Core math, and he didn't take the 1 off. That's what happened. There is really 11 there.
Okay, so no penalty on the play. 1st and 10 for Johnson, and he's got 2 receivers out here wide. Hands the ball up to the back in the middle, and that is a nice tackle there.
I'm trying to see who that was.
That's Ward, right? 35.
35.
No,
it's Tyrell Lee.
Tyrell Lee.
And we've seen him play a little running back, and now Tyrell Lee is out there making the tackle. And now they're lining up with a 2nd and 12 here. 8 minutes and 28 seconds on the clock. And in the backfield back there with Johnson is number 3, Nichols. Now they throw it out wide toward the boundary. Goes for about a 6-yard gain on the play. So that's going to bring up about a 3rd, and we'll call it 7.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Reese Lyons. Good coverage from that linebacker spot. He had to really hustle out there to get the coverage, and makes a good tackle and puts them in a 3rd and 7, 3rd and long here.
Yeah, 8 minutes and 18 seconds here. Palmetto Tigers coming out there with 2 safeties and going to have, looks like a pretty pass-safe defense here, rolling back there. Looks like maybe rushing 3 on this one. Oh, let's see. Crawford rolls up, changes the position. Actually, that's number 44. Mikkel Brown comes over here to the strong side linebacker position. Johnson looking over the field. Fakes the handoff, rolls for the edge, looking for the crosser, and he's going to go down. And there's that tackle again, Tom.
That is going to be number 22 instead of that's going to be Charles Miller. You can't hardly tell with these jerseys all tight and stretched out like a facelift.
Mikkel Brown on the linebacker rolled out with the quarterback to force him back in, again making a great showing tonight.
Yeah, and now going back into a punting formation, and that's going to be their talented defensive back there, which is that Castor going back there? No, it's number hard to get a number here. It's number 3 there. Good, I picked it up on the end zone shot. Yeah, yes. Nicholas Castor, rugby styles
almost got it.
Okay, Jonte, here we go. Pick it up. Jonte's got the ball at the 45, looking for the wide side of the field. Gets a good block there, and he shakes a tackle. Now he's at the 50, 45, and gets tackled at the 43-yard line.
That was a lot of shake and bacon there. He could have been tackled right there when he picked the ball up, but he was able to pick up some good yards there and get on the other side of the field. So we know what Jonte's capable of. He just can't get a touchdown on a kickoff or punt return without a flag.
He is going to have his coming out week, and he's going to get 3 of them next week against Venice. Remember when they put him in at quarterback when we were down there at the end, and they couldn't tackle that boy. And they called a couple back then, but I think he got a couple scores by himself doing what we just saw.
Clearly the fastest guy on the field. What you did see there, you had the chest-to-chest block there that many times when Jonte's returning the ball, they've been calling that a block in the back, and it was a clean block, and we saw it here. And tonight the referees out there did not call it a block in the back, so that's good news for Jonte Wester. Now there's a stoppage of play here on the field, and so they're going to sort this one out. 7 minutes and 17 seconds remain here in the second quarter.
You know, Brian, looking at these receiving stats, what is impressive what I see is a lot of numbers there, but the number there's at least 10 or 11 players that have caught a pass. We've got 3 over 20. So when they have to look at film and prepare against us, they have to prepare for LaJonte with 21, Bubba with 29, Kobe with 21, and then you still got Curtis with 12, and Johnny Jones coming out of the backfield with another 12. And then you've got some others with some catches there, and all the numbers are really good. This is very, you would think we were an option team with our running ability, but you would look like we were a throwing team the way those stats look. And Marino has had a fantastic year.
Yeah, and how about that? 17 touchdowns passing. He has 12 running, but let's just focus on passing here. 17 touchdowns passing with only 3 interceptions, and 104 completions with 152 attempts. So 68.42%. Those are good numbers.
Oh, at a high school, definitely.
Oh,
very impressive.
Marino takes this one out of the shotgun. Looks like we have a false start on maybe the left guard out there. So they're going to back the Tigers up 5 yards on that. So with 7 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, Palmetto Tigers will have a 1st and 15. Kobe Mays out here in single coverage, press coverage. I like the looks of that. Now he throws the middle of the field, and wide open is Johnny Jones, straight down the field. Touchdown, Johnny Jones.
Beautiful play. Just a great play call by Coach Ty, and that was a wide open Johnny Jones that went into the end zone untouched.
Yeah, you can do that. Rick, that's how it's a cover 2 killer. Is what they were in a cover 2 set. You can do that with either a tight end, or you can do it with a back slipping out of the backfield. And there we had Johnny Jones. And that's, I've been watching a little bit of football in my life, and when you have a cover 2, that's a perfect play.
The middle of the field can be exploited. And he's celebrating a little there.
Yeah,
on the
we've
sidelines.
seen that happen. If you watch the Buccaneers for the last 15-plus years, you've seen that a few times. And that cover 2, that Tampa 2.
That's exactly right.
The linebacker's got to be able to get back and cover that middle of the field and the tight end or the running back, and if they get out of position, bad things happen.
Yeah, the linebacker makes one step toward the line of scrimmage to for the play action, looking for the back to stop the run, and it's done. And that's good play design. One thing we get here with our offensive coordinator, and they make it really hard for us here in the booth because the substitution with these numbers, number 2, number 1, number 7, and the guys have their shirts tucked up, and they come out of all different types of formations, and it's a lot of fun to get fooled every Friday night.
I just can't imagine the opposing teams having to look at the film and figuring it all out. It's hard enough to do a broadcast with them.
I'm still thinking about Ricky's comment about the facelift because we were talking earlier, and we had the big flappy, arms, and the mesh. The holes were like an inch wide. I mean, just the big, ugly jerseys. We try to tape them up, make them look cool, and now everybody's got these things. Amazing.
Thanks, Tom. That's our sideline report from Rico's with a convenient location in Palmetto on 8th. Now Gonzalez approaches this one. High kick. It's going to be fielded at the 11-yard line there. Good coverage there initially. And tacked by Corian Brown. There, making a fine play. Corian's a track guy, but this guy becomes more and more of a footballer every week that we watch him.
Well, when you can have a speedster like him, running down the field on these special teams and really just chewing up some yards as that kicks in the air. I mean, there's just no way to substitute that in practice. It's hard to guard him. He comes down there and just makes a hit. And he can play anywhere. Corian can play defense, offense, special teams. You put him in, and he's going to be dominant.
So he's a team player. He finds a role, whatever it takes to get on the field, and you need to have players like that.
So he takes the ball under center, hands the ball off to the back, goes for about a 1-yard gain on the play. And, we don't talk a lot about number 23 for us, which is Brandon Waiters. He's the leading tackler on the team. And coming into the game, before tonight, he has 69 tackles with 32 unassisted. He has 32 unassisted tackles.
Yeah,
so.
Brent, he's just a quiet leader is what he is. I mean, he just makes the plays. He's always where he needs to be. You don't ever find him out of position, and he's been the leading tackle all year. I mean, he's outstanding.
All right, 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock here for the Bobcats here in the second quarter. Tom, well, it looks like there's a little confusion down there. At this point in the game, they might be a little scared over there on that North Port sideline.
They better be. That was a delay of game. They're a little discombobulated, I'd say, looking around, trying to figure out who's going where, motioning back and forth, and they're just trying to come up with something, obviously. So hopefully all these backups that are in are going to be able to continue this defensive stand.
Second and 13 here. 6 minutes, 13 seconds remain on the second quarter. Johnson rolls to the right, looking. Now he tucks it, and he's going to run for a big gain on the play. And there's a flag, late hit on the sideline. So,
well, I know we've got some subs in there. We've got some, new players. But once again, we need that mental focus from them as well. We're going to need them as we get deeper into the season. And there's really no reason for a late hit there. I mean, he's basically going out of bounds, and all you got to do is just make sure he doesn't try to trick you. So, we just got to clean those up, guys. And I hate to keep saying that, but we know what's coming next week, and we know what's coming the week after, and we've got to be better disciplined with some of these crazy penalties that we keep making every game. I think we've had a couple every game up to this point.
Yeah, and it seems like early in the season and then here in the middle last two games, the defensive penalties have been haunting the Tigers. But, with that explosive offense, in games against lesser opponents, competition like this, you can get away with it. But, there's the big Venice Indians. You can't consider that to be a lesser opponent next week. That's going to be a team, playing in an extremely disciplined team. I can't remember seeing an undisciplined Venice team.
Down to the shirts being all tucked in.
Yeah, we know that they will not make a lot of mistakes. We already know that.
Mm-hmm. Johnson, two backs in the backfield, hands it off there, goes for, he bounced that outside. Nice play by the running back, goes for the first down. He's going to be tackled there eventually, and that was Tyler Wells on the tackle.
Yeah, good job by Tyler on that, because that play should have been stopped right there at the line of scrimmage, and he's got a receiver on him that's trying to push him downfield. So good job by Tyler. That may have been a touchdown if he doesn't get him down.
Yeah, there
was no one behind him.
So good run there, and big gain there for the North Port Bobcats. Johnson fakes the handoff, throws it out there. Good block out there, and he goes for a gain of about 4 yards on the plane. Good tackle there. And let's see, coming up there is Reese Lyon. Was that Reese coming up to make a play? Ellison Bradley made a very nice tackle on the play.
Yeah, just a simple bubble screen to the inside for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and I think it's huge for this defense to remain focused, even though we're up 28-0. I mean, you still got to make plays here, and our goal is to hang a goose egg here.
Nichols out here covering in the slot. Tyler Wells has about an 8-yard cushion. Big hit.
Oh my goodness!
Is that Matty White again? That is ridiculous.
That's Matty White, very close to a fumble as well.
I'm telling you, Matty White is explosive. He gets in there. He's going to be disruptive, and it's that quickness that really continues to amaze. He shoots that gap. He shoots it hard. He puts his shoulder pads down, and he just makes something happen. And I tell you what, it's just great to see. He's a great young man too, and I really love Matty White, and I'm glad that he is excelling in this linebacker spot.
I'm sure you guys remember starting football season, starting practices in the spring, and the coaches are trying to assess talent. And they do the bull in the ring, which they don't do anymore.
The
Oklahoma drills, all these things. They're looking for that Matty White. They're looking for the kid who is just tenacious and is a dog. And we definitely got us one here.
3 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in this one. Johnson headed for the sideline, and he goes out of bounds after about a 2-3 yard gain on the play. So that's going to bring up a 4th and about 7.
Yeah, and that was a good job there by Braden Nickel, just to let him go out and not to hit him like we did just a few plays ago, because the referee is right there on top of him. So we're looking at about a 4th and looks like 4th and 8.
4th and 8, they're going to go for it. They've got Kobe Prillo out here, and look at Bembry, runs off the field. Now he's going to shoot back in there.
He's going to be tired before he gets started.
No kidding. So, and they do eventually go back to punt. So now no returner back there for the Tigers. They're playing this one, and it's going to be a nice punt. This one's going to check up. That one was right on the sideline at the 9 yard line.
Yeah, I don't think he knew. I think all night they've been kicking away from LaJonte, kicking towards the angling, the old coffin corner, per se. They did it on the first punt with the...
Well, we didn't have a return set up.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they knew they were punting.
Yeah.
I think that they thought like we did. They were going to go for it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Now that is... you hear of the punt safe unit. That was the punt safe unit. It almost looked like a dime defense out there, didn't it?
I'll tell you one thing. They learned a lesson last week from that fake punt from Lakewood Ranch.
Yeah.
They've been focused on that, and those corners were on those outside gunners. They were waiting for them to do something tricky.
Yeah, two last week. They would have gone for first downs that Lakewood Ranch attempted. And here is Wester, and he's got the edge. Good gracious, he's at the 35 yard line, and coming right at us. Check this out.
Check this out on the replay.
So fast.
Like it, when Jonte turns sideways, he's like a drop of water. I mean, you can't even hardly pick him up.
Check this.
Watch him running across the field and then just taking it up.
Oh boy. He is so fast. And there's a nice route to Kobe. And Kobe Mays has got it. He's at the 40. And he's running the middle of the field. 20. And he's going to be tackled at the 4 yard line. Kobe Mays.
Nice pitch and catch.
Yeah, Kobe was waiting for that all night last week against Lakewood Ranch, and we had a hard time getting him the ball, but he gets him a big play here, and nice run after the catch. And
yeah, and if you watch, he did not get run down. What he was doing was running away. Now, he could have just gone straight down the field and outran this guy, but he was running toward the sideline there, and that's why that they were able to, he slowed down there because he wasn't going straight down the field.
We see him more as a high point kind of guy. We throw the ball up, he goes and gets it, makes an amazing catch, the one-handed catch the other end. We don't see very many passes where he catches them and runs for yardage, really. I mean, he's usually making that tough catch and getting tackled like a Mike Evans type receiver versus, the Deshaun Jackson who will catch it and run past everybody.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. He does have real deceptive speed. I mean, he is quick, but without that receiver like David Burston, when we lost him, Kobe has really become that guy, that high point guy, the one that you need in the corner of that end zone to go up and get the ball, because he will take the ball. Just great hands and very strong. And I think that sometimes the corners look at him and think that they can control him, but he's a lot stronger than you would think.
You recall a home game not too long ago. We interviewed him after the game, and he talked about giving up on plays. We haven't seen much of that from Kobe in the last 3 or 4 games. I mean, he said it himself, and apparently the coaches have made that correction.
Well, they can look at him all they want. If it's a 50-50, I'm going to throw it to him.
He's going
to catch it.
Absolutely, Kenny. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's just got a knack for that. They work on that in practice, and it drives these corners crazy.
And Anthony has no problem. Even if he's staring him down, I'm going that way.
Yeah, he trusts him.
And I trust him, and I'm going to take my chances with him, and we come out ahead most of the time.
Right, look at this big offensive line out there. Matthews is out there at left tackle. Sage Hickson across the formation. Marino looks and he throws it out there. Johnny Jones is going to be a touchdown. And there's a late hit. That's Corian.
Corian Brown again. And then there was another offside on the defensive front there. And I think they may have called it.
They did. Yeah, they got it.
They sure did.
Corian Brown with a touchdown.
The referee can't keep his shirt tucked in. His pants are falling down. His shirt's coming out. He's throwing everything. He's trying to throw the flag. He's pulling his tail of his shirt.
I think earlier he threw his car keys.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Another score with 3:14 left in the half.
Yeah, so here, 3:14 on the clock. The Palmetto Tigers with 28 points on the board, and I don't know what they're talking over there.
That's the only thing they could be talking about.
It was a late hit. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So that's going to be a late hit personal foul there.
Got it.
Personal foul
And
against North Port.
Yeah, just kickoff.
That'll be assessed on the kickoff, and now Gonzalez is back there. Anthony Marino's going to spot this one for him, and Hayden Nichols is going to fire this one back there. Braden Nickel with the snap. It's a good one. And the kick by Gonzalez. And, you know, really, Anthony Marino is a very athletic guy as a spotter, but those snaps are perfect tonight.
They've been spot on. You know, and Braden hasn't made many mistakes, if any, this year from the snapper position. He's also, you know, a young linebacker that we will be counting on next year as well. And he's a young man that has just improved. You know, I've had the joy of watching him play with Tyler as a freshman in JV, and you know they continue to get bigger and stronger. And then you know next year, hopefully they're going to be ready to take over, and we won't see a drop off like some teams do.
Well, again, it's finding your role on the team, and he's helping us as a long snapper.
And that's big.
And you got to have a long snapper. Otherwise, your kicker doesn't. Your kicker and your punter don't have a chance.
Yeah, you're out of sync from the beginning.
You're only as good as your long snapper.
So who was your long snapper back in the day? Did you have a long snapper that you depended on more?
Oh, good. They saved me so many times.
I can't remember John Chasey, or I can't remember who was your long snapper.
I think Derek Lundy snapped for me one year. And
what about college? Did you have more than one?
I had two guys. They were both good.
I was a long snapper, and my punters always hated me. I couldn't figure out why. But they always hated
put
me.
it on their hip,
they were in great
high,
shape.
and they're good.
They were in great shape, though. They had to run for the life back there.
All right, Tom, and there's a return middle of the field, and good speed there by the back, and we'll try to pick up his number, and excellent tackle there by the Palmetto Tigers defensive unit.
Yeah, so that kick was by design. I mean, they could have easily kicked it out of the end zone, but they just wanted to work on a few things, and they gave the special teams, the kickoff team, an opportunity to go down and make a tackle.
And they've had quite a workout these last several weeks. You know, when you're scoring 40 and 50 points a game on average, especially at home, you're going to get quite a bit of workout on the kickoff.
That's right.
Well, Tom Porter, if you think you look bad snapping that football, we just got a press box look here, and I just happened to look at the monitor and hear the three guys in the box were. So
ugly.
It gets ugly up here.
I just want to remind everything that TV puts an extra 10 pounds on the person that you're looking at. Just want to make that clear.
30 in my case. It's all the TV, though. That's all it is. I'm really slim.
Yeah, that's right. And while Tom is on the sideline, I'm sure he's sipping on water during these water breaks, trying to maintain that girlish figure. With 3 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock, your Palmetto Tigers lead this one 35-0. I think I heard Tom's mic drop out after my comment there. Now Johnson hands the ball off to the back. Good cut and a nice run, and goes for a nice gain on the play. That's number 5.
Braden Nichols made that tackle. Braden Nichols came across from his linebacker spot and cleaned that thing up at the end. But that was a good job there by
Zachary Ward.
He's a senior, and he's been very impressive tonight.
One of their best runs.
A lot of it, you know. They talk about receivers' yards after the catch. He's having to fight off our guys as soon as he gets his hands on the ball.
Yeah, and once again, that's what you like about North Port, man. All hard. Just keep playing, play hard.
Now they take that one middle of the field, and it goes for a nice gain. It's going to be short of the first down, and so that's going to bring up a third and very short on the play. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock.
You know, North Port reminds me of Palmetto back in the 90s, the 80s and 90s, where we were having players leaving all the time. We couldn't keep players, you know, and they're going through the same thing with this Venice obviously being successful and everybody wanting to go play where they're successful. So we can feel their pain and obviously see where we are at this point. So
now, what if you come from a great? Thanks for that report there, Tom Porter. You come from a great town like Palmetto, and you're going to be viewed more than any other sports program in Manatee County. Why would you ever leave Palmetto? You know, I was looking some of the hits on TigerVision that's sponsored by Conley Buick GMC, and some of these games, there are 4,500 people taking looks, 3,500 every state. So one thing I don't think, you know, you're seeing, and we do, you know, feel for those teams that have the defections of the players that go somewhere else. But here at Palmetto, if you're a Palmetto Tiger, you're going to be seen.
Yeah, and I want to just kind of elaborate on what Tom just said, because there's a cornerback that played for this North Port team last year. He played from freshman JV. He played 1 year with the varsity squad, and he's at Venice now. And he's an outstanding corner. And, you know, because of some of the issues that North Port has been going through, you know, he decided that he would go to Venice. And, you know, that really hurts your team when you lose those quality players that you depend on to be there for 2, 3, 4 years, and they're feeling the effects of that. And I feel bad for them, because I like what I see every time we play North Port. I just like the way they're coached up and the way they play hard for 48 minutes. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, especially hard when the coaches develop those kids. They take all the time with the kids to develop and turn them into great players, and then they leave like that.
That's right.
Yeah, it's tough. Minute and 42 seconds there. This back is looking good. That's Ward again. Goes for a nice gain on the play. And Ward, you know, that is Zachary Ward is having a nice little game here in the second quarter. I mean, he's come out. It's like he's had a turbo shake or something over there. I mean, he is really coming out and playing hard.
Well, I mean, if you look at Zachary, we don't have height and weight on our roster sheet, but you know he's not real big, but he runs like a big man. He runs right through those gaps, and his O-line is really, they're doing a good job right now against our defense.
So with 1 minute and 3, Ward it's fake to Ward this time, and you look at that quarterback keep after the success that Ward has.
You see
how it opens things up.
That's right. I mean, there it is right there.
There was a flag, late flag.
But that's exactly why when you have a running game that's effective, you know, and then you can run that option, you can do things that are going to keep the defense on their heels, and it's.
Yeah, talking about the defections that the Sarasotas and the North Ports, I'm looking at this quarterback. He's just a 10th grader. He very good athlete, young guy. You know, I hope he stays with the program here. Their coach has they've never had a winning season ever at North Port. The best is 4-6, and they just lose the kids. And the coach actually was the defensive coordinator when Venice won their first state championship back in 2000. So he knows the area and should know the kids. He's just got to keep them.
Another side effect of having the kids, you know, taken from you like that is you have to put your best athletes in those key positions. Maybe not their best position. That little number 5, if he was, look at him now, he's amazing. If he was playing a flanker or in the slot and was able to get one-on-one with a safety or a linebacker, man, he could really do some damage. But because he is the best athlete on the team, you got to put him at running back or quarterback or some of these places.
Yeah, and if you look at Stephon Johnson there, he looks like he's about a 6 foot with a quarterback. Out of the quarter, he's listed as a quarterback and defensive back, and because he's not going to be able to play much defensive back, but he looks like he's about 6'1" and 180 pounds. That is a nice size defensive back. And that's going to be the end of the second quarter there. Your Palmetto Tigers with a 35-0 lead. And we're going to see if we can get some statistics coming in from our Atlanta studios. Tom, were you able to catch one of the coaches for a halftime interview?
Possibly. Stand by.
All right. All right, Coach Matt Brazelton. Tom's approaching him. Matt Brazelton's talking to the umpire out there. So, You know, exciting half of football for the Tigers. We saw some new faces out there doing a great job. Tom, let's have an interview here with Coach Brazelton.
Hey, Tiger fans, here with Coach Matt Brazelton. Just go ahead and face the camera. They get mad at me if nobody faces the camera. So, hey, Matt, first half, obviously everything's pretty much going our way. Just talk about the defensive line and what they've been able to do stopping this number 5, pretty impressive running back.
Yeah, we knew they were going to come out and try to run some power football, some counter with the quarterback. Our linebackers are doing a heck of a job filling on pulls, filling on ISO. The DNs are doing a great job spilling it, making it bounce sideline to sideline, and our speed is just chasing everything down. And they're just doing a really good job getting off the field and giving the offense a chance to do what they do.
I know as a coach, I've got that same mentality. You can't go in there and say, man, you guys are great, everything's perfect, just keep doing what you're doing. What are the improvements that you guys see as coaches that we need to fix in the second half?
We actually had a couple busts on some alignments and some D-line stunts that we're going to address right now that we have to be better at, because if we bust that against better teams, it could cost us. And there's always going to be stuff to work on. You got teenagers out there, and we practice, but they have mental busts. So we're going to go in there, we're going to address that, because it was by far a perfect half. You saw a big run here late, and so we just can't let up. You can't let up.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Yep.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks very much for that Rico sideline report here as we approach the Richardson-Stenton Roofing halftime. And Matt Brazelton, the assistant coordinator there, you know, we had the opportunity to be up in the box with him in a Sarasota-Venice game. And he happened to be right next to us there, and it was so much fun for me to listen to him in, you know, making the play calls and the adjustments, and then he was making the right call. We'd drop a linebacker there, pick off a pass, or the blitz at the right time. So exciting.
Yeah, it's a chess game with the coaches and the adjustments, and it's very exciting to hear the strategies going back and forth.
Yeah, and if you could have both of those going at the same time and drop us out there, it'd be wonderful. All right, let's take it to the homecoming halftime here. TigerVision fans, it's sponsored by Conley Buick GMC. Thank you for watching.
Let's give a round of applause to our juniors and the cheerleaders. Go sophomores! Let's go baseball team and Avid Club! A round of applause to Paul players. Let's go interact. big congratulations and thank you to our conquistadors for coming out tonight. Let's go, future business leaders of America. Welcome to the Palmetto High School homecoming game. Tonight we have the honor of having Josephine Hoffner, your 2018 Miss Palmetto, and Hallie Lawrence, your 2016 Miss Palmetto and 2018 Miss DeSoto Princess, joining us for the crowning of our homecoming court. First up, we have Ashley Davis, being escorted by her dad, Rick Davis, and mom, Shannon Davis. After high school, Ashley plans to attend Nova Southeastern University and major in pharmaceuticals. She also hopes to play collegiate softball. She is a varsity starter and has been for the past 4 years on the softball team here at the school. She also is an athletic trainer and is in both the journalism and yearbook programs at our school. She is also the vice president of the SGA program at our school. Congratulations, Ashley. Next is Nadia Arroyo, who is being escorted by her mom, Myra Supli, and her brother, Frankie Arroyo. After high school, Nadia plans to go to college and major in sports management. She plays soccer here at Palmetto High School. Next, we have Mackenzie Lang being escorted by her mom and dad, Doug and Diane Lang. After high school, Mackenzie plans on going to the University of Florida to major in finance. Mackenzie is a varsity volleyball and tennis player. She is in Mamzell's Service Club, in which she is the president and is secretary of SGA. She is also in journalism, where she is managing editor. Next is Jada LaBelle, who is being escorted by her mom, Candace LaBelle, and brother, Jordan Williams. After high school, Jada plans on going to FAU or USF to minor in nursing. She also runs track for our school. Abby Smith is being escorted by her dad, Jacob Smith, and her mom, Carrie Smith. After high school, Abby plans on going to a university where she will major in physical therapy and continue to play softball. Abby has been an athletic trainer for 4 years, and she is also a softball player at PHS, and says that she will greatly remember her memories made here at Palmetto. Ashley Price is being escorted by her dad, Brad Price, and her mom, Christine Zimmerman. After she graduates, she plans on going to college where she will play softball and pursue a career in physical or athletic training. Ashley is an athletic trainer in Avid Club and also weightlifts and plays softball here at PHS. Next up, we have Luke Gullett being escorted by his dad, Charles Gullett. After his graduation, he plans on going into law enforcement and has played football for 4 years. Lazavian Walker is being escorted by his grandma, Sandra Kinder. He plans to go to a 4-year university for track. Lazavian has ran track and played football for 4 years. Matthew Watson Jr. is being escorted by his dad, Matthew Watson Sr., and his mom, Whitney Watson. After high school, Matthew plans to go to USF Tampa for the ROTC program. He is a varsity cross-country runner and is the male varsity Raider team captain.
Bring it down, boys.
Next is Irvin Corona Ochoa, who is being escorted by Adrian Corona Ochoa and Magdalia Corona Ochoa. After high school, he plans on going to MTC to become a licensed barber. He does weightlifting and is in JROTC Raiders. David Burston is being escorted by his dad, Melvin Burston, and his mom, Trina Burston. After high school, he plans on going to college and majoring in sports medicine. He plays both football and basketball. Lastly, John Wester Jr. is being escorted by his dad, John Wester, and his mom, Lakita Wester. After he graduates, he plans on going to college where he will play football and graduate with a degree in sports management. He runs track and plays football here at Palmetto. Your 2018 homecoming prince is John Wester. Your 2018 homecoming princess is Abby Smith. And now your 2018 Homecoming King. Congratulations, Irvin Corona. And finally, your 2018 Homecoming Queen. Congratulations, Nadia Arroyo.
Well, welcome back, TigerVision fans, as sponsored by Conley Buick GMC. Area photos over the field here on homecoming night. Great to see a lot of the great ones out there. I did get the chance. I saw Larry Ritchie, a former baseball and football, JV football coach, and a lot of folks are here. And I wanted to take this opportunity to give you some halftime statistics here from Steven Johnson in our Atlanta studio, high above the skyline. It's Steve. Palmetto Tigers with 110 yards rushing, 154 yards passing, and 264 yards of total offense, a dominating performance. North Port, 58 yards rushing, 22 yards passing, and 80 yards total. You know, we did see a little progress there with Ward, number 5. Zachary Ward came out and started to put some rushing numbers out there as a positive here for these North Port Bobcats. But it really got a chance to get away from the press box there. It is a beautiful evening here at Harllee Stadium. And, you know, Ken, I was looking at the scroller earlier. You know, I think about where people watch us from. Someone's watching us from Vietnam. today.
Wow. I might know who that is.
That's impressive.
I might know who that is. That might be a relative of Shelly and ours. Her cousin, because I know they are in Vietnam right now because I follow their blog and
check it out.
That might be them. He worked the camera for us one night. He's a Gator.
That's right.
Kent Tucker. Yes.
Yeah.
So we can get Vietnam, but not South Dakota. What's up with that?
No, we got South Dakota.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we finally did get South Dakota there. And Tom, I wish that you were able to see the monitor here because there's a city in Vietnam that flashed across the monitor there real quickly, and I would love for you to read it. We'd be playing.
I think I know which city you're talking about. I'm not gonna read that one.
We'd be playing Who'd Stump the Chump again. Thanks for chiming in there, Tom Porter, our sideline reporter. Sponsored by Rico's Pizzeria and Pasta House, located on 8th. And now going to kick the ball off this half is number 40, John Victor Oliveira. He is a junior. Get a kick out of great service from our friends at DeVito's Auto, located in Ellington. So the clock is already moving before the kickoff here. And now here's the return here for the Tigers. That looks like Wester. Comes the middle. He's at the 40, 45, 50. Tackled right there at the 50 at the 49-yard line. Man, 48. What speed by Jonte Wester.
Yeah, anytime he touches the ball, it can be 6 points.
Yeah, and we do have a flag, and that may be on North Port. I saw number 45 upset about something. I'm not sure what happened. I couldn't tell.
Looks like a personal foul away from the play.
I think it's going to be one of those mystery hits, those away from the play hits, kind of a blindside hit.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the play.
So that's going to back him up here.
Coach Marino got his pink out going there.
Yeah, I see that. Tom, I didn't see your Tom Porter. I didn't see your pink sweatbands on or anything tonight.
No, not the sweatbands. I do have some pink beads I got from the DeSoto crew when they came around. I got a couple of Dot Woods gave me a couple of little beads there just so I could represent the breast cancer month.
All right, that critical sideline report there from Tom Porter. 10 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. You look good in pink, Tom.
I look good in everything.
Yeah, the crawl. That was Kent and Beth Tucker in Vietnam watching.
Oh, that's great.
No telling how many hours difference that is.
That's amazing. And now in the backfield, that's Harllee. And he does a pirouette and he changes the field, now cuts it up, and he goes for a gain of about 2 yards on the play. And stepping in the quarterback now, Anthony Marino probably is done for the evening. And that's going to be, let's see,
32. He was quarterback last week.
Yeah, 32. Got a strange number as a quarterback, and I didn't have that on my roster here. Rodrigo, was it?
Is it Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're just stumbling up here right now.
So we don't have it on the roster here.
We saw him last week at where the offense was very productive, scoring a few times against Lakewood Ranch.
Now we have a substitution coming in there late. Tom Porter, time to go to work. Number 32 for the Palmetto Tigers.
32 is that JV quarterback. That kid with the cornrows. He's got like 3 cornrows in his hair, and he throws the ball pretty well.
Thank you so much for your help, Tom.
All right,
just a simple dive play.
Yeah, nice looking run there by Zaquani Hughes.
So what we know is the quarterback is number 32, that kid that plays for the Tigers.
And he has 3 cornrows. That's critical.
And he throws the ball
there's
pretty
several
good.
Kids with 2, so that distinguishes him from those other kids. He's actually a pretty tall quarterback. He's got a nice ball. He was doing some warm-ups with the first team earlier before the game, and he's got a nice tight spiral.
Yes, he does. I watched him too.
2 receivers out in both sides of the formation. Palmetto Tigers knocking on the door. Superior Asphalt red zone. Sajel Hickson on the jet sweep, cuts it in the middle of the field and goes for about a 7-yard gain on the play. And a pancake block over here thrown by number 70, Sam Pasco, peeling back and picking up that pancake block over here on the hash. See that? Hey, Tom, did you feel that one?
I did. The ground shook just a little bit there. That was the receiver again that did the pancake block, the number 70. One good thing about number 32, whatever his name is, you could see him. He's directing the offense, so he seems to be pretty knowledgeable about the plays. He's putting people in motion and stopping them, telling them to widen out a little bit. So he seems to know the play that's being called, which is great to see in a young player.
Yeah, that player that's down is actually the one that got pancaked, and that's going to be number 28, Patrick Bethune, and he's hurting. He tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, and
let's just hope that
just couldn't make it. So hopefully it's a cramp, or maybe it's just
maybe the wind knocked out of him. But it looks like they might. Yeah, looks like he's got the wind knocked out of him.
So are we at the point now that we have a running clock?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Looking at the crawl, these games outside of our area, when they come back up, everybody in 7A District 11 are blowouts tonight. But I think we want Bloomingdale to win that game against Plant City, only because if Plant City wins, it's going to be a three-way tie, because they get to play. Plant City gets to play Tampa Bay Tech next week, and then it would be like we beat Venice. It would be a three-way tie, and you might have three teams from that district make the playoffs.
Is Tampa Bay Tech just as hot as they were?
Yes, but they got beat by Bloomingdale to kind of throw a monkey in the wrench, so that game was critical. If Bloomingdale wins, they're the district champs.
So Diego Cantu, the quarterback, number 32, hands the ball off there to Zaquani Hughes. Goes to the center of the line, and it looks like he did pick up the first down. I think there it is, first down for the Palmetto Tigers, knocking on the door in the Superior Asphalt red zone, 8-yard line.
So Diego was the quarterback for the JV team, most of this year, and I'm sure I don't know if they're done yet, but they did not have a game this week, so that's why he's able to play now.
Okay, and Cantu fakes the handoff. Now he's rolling to the right. Come on, Diego, and he's got a receiver out there throwing a little bit high for Stinson, and so that's an incomplete pass.
I believe Coach Hansen told me last week that Diego actually was moved up. I don't know if maybe it was just for the week, Rick, but he had said that he was working with a freshman quarterback now, so it may be more of a permanent thing for the rest of the season, just to have some depth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, though, that Diego is a junior. He was actually on the JV squad last year, but I think he's a junior.
So now Diego's looking over the field. He has a 2nd and 8, 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. And over here wide, looks, and it's going to be jet sweep, running hard there, and
he's in
for the score, and that's going to be number 20, which is Zaquani Hughes.
Another one of those running backs in the stable. Coming across, cut back.
Takes a big hit there and drives forward for 6. Zaquani running hard.
Yeah, took a big hit right there at the line, kept his feet moving, and just shoved himself right into the end zone.
Took a big helmet-to-helmet shot there. Now Gonzalez drives it through. And there's your conversion. So your Palmetto Tigers, with 5 minutes 54 seconds remaining on the clock, lead this game 42-0, and this one will be over soon. Now Tiger fans, at the end of the conclusion of the game, we have something special from the Hungry Howie's Hospitality House. We're going to have Tom at the very end do some players and coaches interviews, and one of these, and it's really exciting, and one of these things in a game with a lopsided score like this, everyone's tempted just to drop off and quit watching, but at the very end of the game, we're going to have some player interviews along with Coach Marino, and we might get an offensive or defensive coordinator in there. So be sure to tune in for that exciting Hungry Howie's final post-game report with Tom Porter.
Yeah, it should be very exciting, and we know that Tom will have some very intelligent things to say. He always does, and he'll be able to put his own spin on the game, regardless of what happens and regardless of what is real.
And that is not limited to football, by the way.
Well, you got to make up airtime, buddy, right? You got to fill the gap.
Yeah.
I want y'all to think about this. I mean, this game's not over yet, but already the last 2 weeks, we have already scored 111 points.
That's amazing. Amazing. output by the Palmetto Tiger offense.
How many did we score against Sarasota? I mean,
not even counting that, right?
Yes.
You're right, Kenny. I mean, it's been offensively, it's been explosive, but the defense has put the offense in some great scoring positions as well. I mean, just all around,
really the most
three great games from at all levels.
Most impressive game was that 51-point output versus Lake Gibson, a very good team. Now Gonzalez drives this one out of the end zone, and so that's going to be a touchback. That Lake Gibson team was huge. They were talented, and Rick and I were scared in that second quarter.
We were down.
17, 18 points.
Yes.
I was in Savannah, Georgia, and I was scared for you because I was watching. But the way the playoff system works, we did not get many points
off of that
for
win?
that game because as good as they are 3-5.
That's unbelievable.
So they dropped down to like a tier 3. So we only picked up like 35 points for that.
They must be playing one heck of a schedule because we know the athletes that they have and we know what they're capable of. And we know last year they were a playoff team, correct?
They were in the state championship. They were the runner-up just 2 seasons ago.
That is a talented team.
Mm-hmm.
So they must be playing like the Jets and the Buccaneers every other Friday night. I don't know. But really that was an impressive 51-point output just a few weeks ago. Now Johnson looks, boy, he has the middle wide open. He missed him. Boy, and that one we would have caught up there, but that was a wide open play. There missed assignments out there with the defense. Now that.
Well, they had that receiver out, and then he came in, and so the corner is thinking run there. And then he just runs up the middle, and like you said, he was wide open. Just a bad pass, luckily for us.
I don't know. That looked like that same cover 2 buster that we did with Johnny Jones down the middle of the field earlier in the game. And that was interesting. Good play call, good stuff, just not good execution. There's that back, and then Ward goes to the line of scrimmage, running hard, goes for about a 4-yard gain on the play. So that brings up a 3rd and a very long 5.
So Northport, staying in this ball game, just trying to be creative offensively, trying to come up with anything they can to, pick up a first down here. And, I think we go back to the penalties as being the only time, just like last week, that they've actually crossed the 50, guys.
I think tonight they have made it across twice, and they got to try the field goal, which turned out to be a 10-point swing in our favor because we blocked it and took it to the house.
All right, he keeps it. Johnson's got it, and he's got a crease, and he's at the 40, the 45, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, and he's going to make it to the end zone. Great hustle there by the defender, and that was number 14. You saw some great speed by Lazavian Walker, but Johnson with a touchdown.
Watch that again. Just a quarterback keeper. Wide open seam on his left side, and that boy,
he's fast.
He is fast, and he is only a sophomore.
But I'll tell you who else is fast. Number 14, Lazavian Walker, made up a lot of distance on that one.
Yes, he said, Coach Gucci, I tried my hardest to keep the shutout. I just couldn't catch him.
But he gained ground on a very speedy quarterback there. Now that Tigers have finally. The Bobcats now put 6 on the board. The snap is a little high, and it is blown dead there. So let's see. It looks like we offsides on the Tigers.
Hey, guys. Well, we have a little break in the action down there. I'm sitting here watching Jennifer Summers over here, Albritton, eating some barbecue, texting on her phone, flipping her hair. She's not even paying attention to me. So I am here with Jason from More and More Insurance in Palmetto, Jason Moore. So this is your 20-year reunion?
Yes, sir. 20 years. Class of '98.
Talk a little bit about tonight, about the hospitality tent and the section set up for all the fans tonight.
Oh, it's great. It was just what Jarrett James said it would be. It was a nice tent, good food, good people, easy to find. Great idea. I think everybody should come down and check it out.
So More and More Insurance is pretty much a new company in Palmetto, correct?
Yes. We just started in 1952. My grandfather, Jim Moore Sr., started it. He was a Palmetto High School graduate. My father, Jim Moore Jr., Palmetto High graduate. I was class of 98, so we're 3 generations Palmetto High School graduates, right? Palmetto.
Outstanding. We talk about what being in Palmetto, people who are from Palmetto, how faithful we are to Palmetto. You don't see people from Palmetto moving all over. A lot of times people want to stay here, come back to the football games, be a part of the Alumni Association. Have you signed up for that?
I've not, but I've been a couple people have been asking me about it. So
if you stand still enough, Bill Britt will find you and sign you up for the Alumni Association. It's a great way to get information on things like reunions and things that are going on at Palmetto High School. So it's great to have you guys at the game. Who do you have with you?
I've got my son, I've got my niece Savannah here, and I got my wife Jennifer.
Awesome, great to have you guys. All right, walking down the line here. I'm losing some of them. We lost one. He's wandered off. So I have a few young people here from the class of
1973.
1973. Wow. So what's your name?
Sharon Riker Phillips.
I know your name. I've known you for 30 years. Her youngest son Jeffrey and I were good buddies back in the day. And he's a little muscle-bound guy now. He looks a little different than he did back when we were playing. So talk a little bit about.
There he goes, Jonte Wester. He's got it. He's on the 50. He's at the 45, 40, and he's 30, 20, 5, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jonte Wester. LaJonte with a score.
No flags for the first time. Jonte is in the clear.
So maybe that is the key to that. Is that instead of paying attention to the football game, we'll have Tom on the sideline report there.
Yes. Was that a punt? That was the kickoff return?
That's the kickoff return from the 1 yard line.
I missed it.
LaJonte Wester at the 10. He cuts it up 20, 25. Hits it. Burners. Now check this out. Anytime you see a guy running with his hands behind his pockets like that, and I think his dad may be a personal trainer or something, but that is a spooky situation.
The gap. He spread the gap there. He's just he's got the jets going.
So there, and now the clock is down to zeros here with the running clock. So at the end of the third, LaJonte Wester, and the kick is up, and it is good, and that's going to be Gonzalez with a great kick.
So if you score a touchdown on us, this is what we're going to do to you.
That's right.
Hopefully we can do that next week with Venice a few times.
Unbelievable. I can't believe I missed it, guys. All right, so I'm back here again. Sorry, guys. Class of 1973. Are you guys doing anything special this weekend?
We're here.
Yeah. You're here, all right. No wild and crazy times?
I didn't tell you that.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, got to keep it. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? You got a mascot? We haven't had a mascot here in a while. How you doing? Oh, well, so what did you think about the first half? All right, thumbs up. All right. All right, guys, great atmosphere down here. Great barbecue. Everything's going great. Jonte Wester returned a kick, and I missed it, and I'm upset about that. But I'm going to throw it back to the booth, guys.
Hi, I'm Susan Conley, and I am a breast cancer survivor, and I take this personal. In 2015, I was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer. Grandmothers, mothers, and daughters are being diagnosed every day. This month, we are joining the fight against breast cancer and donating $100 for every vehicle sold. Join me and my family in the fight to defeat breast cancer. Conley Buick GMC, where we treat you like family.
Gonzalez is going to kick this one. 12 minutes on the clock here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Your Palmetto Tigers winning in this one 49-7. Tom having a lot of fun in the Hickory Hollow hospitality tent. And there is the field return at the 10-yard line, looking for the boundary, and a nice hit there, and a tackle right about the 22-yard line.
Bradley Augustin.
Check out this. Coming in there.
Oh, nice
Makes
tackle.
it out to about the 24-yard line. First down.
And we got Corian Brown and number 30. Let me see that number. 31, and that's going to be, we're very familiar with Gabe Avendano making a play.
We've called his name out.
Called his name quite a bit. And now the clock is winding down to 11 and 9 seconds.
Yeah, that running clock goes by quickly. You know, that quarter ended before we even knew it.
Yeah, it goes fast. Now we have Nicholas Castor in motion, and they just run the ball up the middle. There goes for about a 4-yard gain.
So just we had a flag down here, a late flag, but I was watching Coach Cucci after the touchdown when we gave that up, and he is not happy. And he was up there coaching those young kids and trying to figure out, who missed the assignment up front, because he got through the line, linebackers were nowhere in place, and Coach Cucci is an excellent coach, and he's always coaching his kids up. It doesn't matter what the score is, you have a job to do, and you better do it right.
All right, so those third quarter statistics, Mr. Steven Johnson giving us some Palmetto statistics, and that had to be fast. It was 14 rushes for 140 yards, 6 for 9 passing, 154 yards. Steve Johnson up in Atlanta, up on the tower. He's got to be on his toes tonight here because this one is going to be over quick.
Very balanced effort, 154 and 140.
So whatever the penalty was, it was on us. I didn't pick it up on this end.
So here, 9 minutes and 38 seconds in the fourth quarter. And they're going to stay with Stephon Johnson as a quarterback under center. Kind of moving around. There's Castor. He's got the ball, trying to get outside. It's Ward, Zachary Ward. And
Number 5,
nice play
Ward
inside there. And so that's a loss of about 5 on the play.
And that's what Coach Cucci is looking for. He's looking for this young crew that we got here up front to be dominant and to make those plays and not to get blocked at the line of scrimmage. You got to get off those blocks, just like you see here.
So with 8 minutes and 48 seconds, and that tackle on that last play was Mikael Brown out there. There's a rollout by Johnson. Looks for the sideline, trying to get the edge. Oh, nice tackle there. And that's going to be number 30. Kendall Reynolds out there making a great play.
There you go, Kendall. Kendall is he's been fighting for that linebacker spot all year, and he continues to
30, Kendall Reynolds.
To get better. He had an ankle sprain early in the season. He's been recovering from that, but we know how he hits.
Oh, yeah. And Kendall can bring the heat, and good to see Kendall out there making a play. Looks like if that far on the sideline, looks like he's recovered from that ankle issue that it had a little early on. Now we have Wells out here, Tyler Wells wide, and also Nickel out here on this side of the field. They look to the other side to throw the ball down the sideline. It is picked off there, but he's at the 45, looking for a block. And here it is. He's at the 35. He's at the 24-yard line. And
Ellison Bradley with a
and
pickoff.
there is Wells. They're getting tangled up with a blocker out there. There's a flag that comes out, and I think that one's going to be on number 7, Stephon Johnson back there, the quarterback. But really good interception there.
Yes, he did his own Oski grill. He tapped it to himself up in the air.
And so
makes the catch.
We can watch this. We may not pick this up at the end of the play, but that North Port player is probably not. Hopefully, this is offset penalties.
Yeah, that
because
was Ellison Bradley. So they're going to call the personal foul.
Both sides.
On both sides offsetting. And Tyler Wells got caught in the old retaliation mode there, because most of us can't get slapped around in the face there for a while without retaliating. So they got their retaliation on that one. Way away from the play.
Okay. That's a bad call. That's a terrible call.
Yeah. 6 minutes and 26 seconds remaining here on the clock.
Palmetto personal foul against North Port and a unsportsmanlike conduct against
So Palmetto Tigers lead this one 49-7.
North Port 39-yard line first down.
Looks like Stinson is in the backfield there in the H-back position. And there's Diego. He's looking down the field, throws a little, it was attempting to get the ball to Stinson coming out of the backfield. Pretty good defense there by number 12. Kind of sat down and squatted on that little middle screen, Robert Washington.
Well, this fourth quarter is just blowing by. We got 5:48 left, 49-7. This is really just, hurry up and get over so we can focus on Venice.
Yeah, looking at these games, we want Bloomingdale to pull that out. Palmetto Ridge is a 6A school that we want to knock off Gulf Coast. They're ahead of us. And we would like East Lake to knock off St. Petersburg, who's seeded number 9. We're seeded number 10. Those are the 3 games that we're watching tonight.
Kenny Burton always on it on
playoff time.
The future, the playoff time. He's always got it figured out.
Well, I don't know about that, but it is quite a formula to figure out how this thing's going to end up. There's no way to tell.
You look at that great shot there from our Hickory Hollow Hospitality House, and we've got the Kiwanis International. That's the Kiwanis of North Manatee. End zone shot there.
I think they meet at Hopi's there. I forget, one of the mornings. I've been out there.
So 5:41 remain in this one. Your Palmetto Tigers lead 49-7.
Running clock.
It's Diego Cantu, hands the ball off to the back, runs for a first down on the play. And you hate with all the young guys out there, you hate to see the running clock, because that is again number 20, which is Zaquani Hughes. Oh, 35, that's Terrell Lee.
Big gain on the play.
Senior running back.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time. Not helping out those young players that are trying to get a little game time experience and get in there, and they practice so hard all week, and you got here guys, get in. You got 5 seconds.
Yeah. Down the ball.
Yeah.
Take a knee.
Yeah, that's another thing. You get the backup quarterback in there that gets to kneel and go backwards and get negative yardage. Nice throw out there, and it's going to be jarred loose. He picks it up. I thought he had the catch, and it was jarred loose. You might catch that on the replay here. But it was intended for Alejandro Mont out there. Let's take a look. A very long, late throw across the boundary there.
Yeah, it kind of hung up there for a little while.
That was a catch.
Oh,
he
knocked it out.
It was. So that, yeah.
He kind of knocked it out.
Yeah, jarred it out, but Alejandro picked it up. So second and about 10 on the incomplete pass call. Palmetto Tigers there's 4 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock. There's your North Manatee Kiwanis end zone shot. And that's a good run, solid run for about 3 yards on the play, and that one is off to Terrell Lee again.
35 Terrell Lee again on the carry.
If we don't get the first down here, I'm not all for running the score up, but I'd love to give our kicker a good long field goal opportunity here.
Yeah, I'd like to see Gonzalez do that.
Just for some exposure, because they may have to do it next Friday night.
Yeah, that's a great point, Kenny, because I don't believe he had an opportunity last week, did he? Did he have
a lot of extra points?
Yeah, a lot of extra points. I know his leg was tired.
He might have missed. I think he might have missed a field goal.
A long one, maybe.
It was a long one, but to have that under your belt would be good.
So Diego's rolling. He throws an out there. That ball's taking a while to get out there, and it's going to be incomplete pass. So one thing, a couple of those deep out throws out there. You can see. Diego's trying to just put a little touch on it and make sure he makes the completion, but those are hanging up in the air.
Yeah, this looks like a softball lob out there. He's got a little, the 6 foot on there, and got to get some speed behind it. Let's see what they do here on fourth.
2 minutes, 48 seconds, fourth down for the Tigers. And Diego Cantu is coming out there, and he's got 35 checking in late there, and that's going to be Terrell Lee. Coming off the field is Stinson. He's been playing fullback and H-back position. So 2 receivers on each side. And so setting things up. Good job by Diego Cantu to get everybody set. 2 minutes, 19 seconds. He looks. Now he's running to the right. Looking for the corner over there. And he's going to be caught and dragged out of bounds there, short of the first down. So that's going to be first down. There's defensive stop for the North Port Bobcats. 2 minutes left on the clock. What do you think? 3 plays left in this game.
3 max here. Maybe Maybe only 2, because I mean this clock continues to run. They're not even set to run and play yet. We're down at 150. Maybe 2.
Yeah, they're just now putting the ball down.
Maybe 1.
Maybe 1. Yeah.
So a minute and 41 seconds left here in this game. Palmetto Tigers dominating here on this homecoming Friday evening. So a minute and 25. Quarterback Johnson keeps it, and nice run on the play. Goes, he could get a first down out of this, but the clock, he does get the first down. The clock continues to run. A minute and 13 on the clock.
We just need to keep that boy contained so he doesn't bust another one here in the game.
As we approach the 1 minute mark of
Well,
the
we
game.
got these young players in there, and they're playing hard, and they're trying to keep them out of the end zone here. We got 58 seconds left.
All right, 52 on the clock. This will be the last play. Johnson hands it off, and there's Ward again, and he's going to be tackled. Nice tackle there. And over there is number.
That's going to be Braden Nickel. Yep.
The long snapper.
You know, they had a good second quarter where he was running the ball. I think they had 50 yards rushing, it was all, but they've pretty much shut him down the second half here.
They've done a great job. I mean,
They sure have.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've been impressed with the defense. The last 2 weeks. I mean, the second unit has come out and played hard. That's probably going to do it there. I tell you what, we're getting feisty.
All right, we're probably going to go down to Tom and get a speech first with hear the coach talk to the players, and then we'll come back up to the booth, and then we're going to go back down and take it to the Hickory Hollow hospitality tent for the postgame report.
Guys, as we're waiting for Coach Marino, the obligatory handshake. These games, we blow a team out 49-7, especially North Port. You have to have so much frustration build up over on their sideline. At the end of the games, it just comes out, that aggravation, that frustration of another loss. It happens. So great to see everybody, just putting that away. That's just a little aggression and, being a good sport. And the coaches are screaming that, trying to get people out of confrontations with the other players. So it's always great to see that. And Coach Marino and the staff here do a great job of talking about sportsmanship. We had the game last week where we had the accidental, I should say, onside kick and how Coach Marino handled that and just wanted to make sure the other coaches knew that wasn't intentional. That's just another example of how classy the coaching staff is here at Palmetto. It's always great to see that. The coach is coming over to address the band, and then we'll get the speech.
Bring it in tight. Take it in. Bring it in tight.
Bring it tight. Yeah.
All right, hey, listen up. Hey, again, gentlemen, we've been here a long time, and we have built teams year in and year out. And again, we have a very, very good football team. No matter what happens, whether we self-inflict whether we have injury, we have coached all of you. Our coaches have done a great job. You guys have done a great job committing to one another, trusting in one another. And again, nobody knows. Nobody knows our woes, and I don't want them to know our woes. It don't matter. All they care about is winning. All right, you guys did a great job. You went out, you did your job. You had a convincing win in the face of all that adversity this week, and I couldn't be more proud of you. Right now, third quarter. Okay, we got to come back tomorrow. We got to get a grind in. We got to learn from the little mistakes, and we got to get ready. We want to hit the ground running Monday. All right, we want to start looking at Venice Monday, so we got to put this behind us tomorrow. 8:30, let's get ready to go. Great job, bring it up.
Hey, family on three, 1, 2, 3.
All right, Tiger fans, here with Coach Marino. Coach, you know, the last 3 games, I read something where he'd scored 152 points in 3 games, another 49 tonight, makes it 201 points. Talk about this offense and how it ranks among the offensive you've had before.
I've been around the block a few times, and I've never been around a team that has so many weapons. And we're blessed. We are truly blessed that these kids decided to commit to one another. In this day and age, when you have so many weapons, a lot of them could start anywhere else, maybe in the county, if not in the state. And these kids just made a commitment to stay together, work together, compete with one another, and it shows, you know, that we're able to, you know, plug guys in and we don't really miss a beat.
What is it about your program that you've created here at Palmetto, because you have created an amazing program here that has these kids want to stick together? This is the same freshman team that went undefeated 4 years ago. We were talking about North Port and the fact that they lose players to Venice, and all these teams are losing players to other places. What have you guys created here that's keeping the kids wanting to stay at Palmetto?
Well, I think our coaches are sincere. We truly care about kids. And if you care about kids and you show them you truly love them, not just for what they can do on the field, but in life, and you're trying to teach them right and wrong. Everybody wants to do right. Some people just don't know how to do right. And so we try to teach our kids about responsibility, accountability, trust, loyalty, perseverance, pride, all the values that have made this country great. And so that's what we built the program on. And kids, everybody wants to be great, they just don't know how. And so that's our job as educators and teachers. And so that's what we've done, and kids want that. They starve for that. And especially this day and age when, you know, so many kids don't have a mom and a dad, you know, and a stable environment. We create that stable environment. We love our kids. We push them to be great. We show them how we can get them to be great, better than anybody else can. And that's really the foundation.
You said a couple games ago about how this is a 4-week playoff for you guys. You got to win all 4 games to get in the playoffs. Obviously, the biggest test of the season is next week, Venice. So are you going to do anything different? Is there anything special in your mind, or are you just going to continue doing what we've done well so far?
Well, every week, you know, presents itself with a new set of challenges. So we'll go to work now in Venice, and we'll look at what we could do to put our kids, as every week, in the best position possible, be successful. And you know, it is. We control our own destiny. If we win out, you know, with the strength of our schedule, we got a really good shot. We will be district champs. And that was our motto, you know, on our shirts and everything in our locker room. It's pursuit for a championship. And that was the motto, and that's our rallying cry, and we're doing that. We're in pursuit for a championship, and next week is the 3rd step in that pursuit.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Great game. All right, I'm going to kick it back up to the booth, guys, real quick.
Thanks very much, Tom Porter. And tonight's final score from Palmetto. Let's see if we can get some final statistics there from Stephen Johnson in our Atlanta headquarters. Final stats. The North Port Bobcats tonight, they came out and did some rushing there. They had 140 rushing yards, 26 yards passing, 166 total yards, 7 points on the board. Palmetto Tigers, 49 points and rushing 158 yards. Rushing, and there's that balance that we talked about before the game. And passing 154 yards, you know, and a balanced, nice balanced offense, 312 yards on the board. Ken and Rick, what are your comments?
I'll just say this, guys. I mean, these last 3 games were games that we were supposed to win. We dominated. We on, you know, from defense, offense, special teams, everything has been clicking. Now, next week is a game that many believe we can't win. So I think this is when these athletes, these skilled players that Coach Marino was talking about, they have got to shine next week. We got to come out here and we've got to prove to everyone that we are a championship caliber team, because that's what I believe we are. So next week is really about focusing and paying attention to detail and not making those little mistakes that will continue to hurt any football team. And let's come out here and let's take care of business and do something we haven't been able to do in a while, and that's beat Venice. And then regardless, we know we're going to the playoffs. We don't have to wait until we play Charlotte the next week, guys.
Right. This will be week 9, and a lot of schools don't have the opportunity that these kids have worked for. So you have the defending state champion, who's been our nemesis all these last few years. We've had some good games with them. We have them coming back to Harllee Stadium next week. This is what they've been working on since last year when they lost in the second round. That's what it's all about. You can't ask for any more. What a great opportunity. They have put themselves in this position, and now it's coming time to make it happen.
All right, for those #1 internet sports broadcast fans in the world, our TigerVision as presented by Conley Buick GMC. We're not done yet. We're going to have some great post-game interviews here, and be sure to join us next Friday night, October 26th, as we are bringing you the most important game of the year right here at Harllee Stadium as we face the Venice Indians. For those attending the game, be sure to wear your black shirts. And to get your gear, you can order it on PalmettoTigers.com page. My broadcast partner Rick Wells and Ken Burton Jr. and I remind you, for great football north of the river, it's about the one and only your Palmetto Tigers. Now, speaking of your Palmetto Tigers, let's kick it to Tom Porter for the Hungry Howie's post-game report with coach and player interviews. Tom?
Hey guys, I'm here with Pat Cucci and some defensive standouts for the night. Coach, who you got with us tonight?
We've got Charles Miller, Ellison Bradley, and Raquel Crawford.
I told them I only know them by their numbers, except for Charles Miller over here. He's got that Miller face. He can't get away from it. Daddy, uncle, grandpa, they all got the same face. So can't confuse that young man. Coach, talk about the defense tonight and, the changes you made a couple weeks ago and how that's really showing up, and we're seeing some great plays all over the field.
We made a lot of changes on defense by personnel and everything like that, so we have guys competing for spots now. No one thinks they have a spot. We've got 11 guys competing, or probably 17 guys competing for 11 spots, and we have the ability to control 2/3 of the football game, and we did a great job on special teams. Raquel Crawford had a block punt or block field goal for a touchdown. And then Ellison also had a pick on defense. We got it all played around. Charles obviously did what he's supposed to do. Defensive end did a great job for us.
Yeah, so when you made these personnel changes a few weeks back, did you do a scheme change, or is it just personnel? Did you just stick new faces and new positions?
New faces, new positions. Schemes pretty much stayed the same, and just want to. We tell these guys all the time that it's the best 11 will play no matter what size you are, how big you are, tall you are, fast you are. The best 11 that want it the most are going to play football for us on Friday nights.
Outstanding. So you had a big interception tonight. Talk about what you saw and what happened on that play.
I seen the #1 receiver coming up the field. I just broke on it. Everything we've been learning in practice all week, I applied it to the game.
So was it like slow motion? You see the quarterback dropping back, you're reading his eyes, and you just know you have it, or did you just turn around and the ball was there?
I read the quarterback eyes, weaving to the #1 receiver, and it ended up in my hands.
So coach put you on the #1 receiver?
No, sir. It was my zone.
Oh, okay, I got you. And you had the pump block for the touchdown, correct?
Yes, sir.
So talk about that play. We haven't had a pump block this year, have we?
Field goal block.
We had a field goal.
Field goal block. That was a field goal.
Right. So talk about the play. What happened? What you saw?
I just knew our rushers rushed in, blocked it. I just seen the ball go up. I would go get it, and I ran it.
So have you been close a few times, and you finally got to the ball?
Yes, sir.
This is your only time on TV, buddy. You got to talk. They're all watching you.
Yeah, that was my first time to get to the ball. Like.
Is he a smart kid?
Very smart.
4.0, really?
Yes, sir.
Very nice, very nice. So, Mr. Miller, talk about your game. Talk about this defense tonight, and
we had a good defense out here. Made adjustments. We ran to the football. No stupid penalties. We need to fix that and ready for next week.
How big is it, Coach, not to have those stupid penalties? Because we're getting ready to play the hardest team we're going to have all year, Venice, state champs, and they don't make mistakes. So if we start, collapsing on ourselves, obviously those mistakes compound. So how important is it to have a great practice this week and follow up with what we've done the last 2 weeks with limiting these penalties?
Very crucial. And I tell these guys all the time, we cannot make these penalties. That's what my speech after the game was. We cannot make these penalties next week against Venice. But I feel like if we do what we're supposed to do, Venice has to come in here and beat us. We don't have to beat Venice. So if we do what we're supposed to do and we fly around and make plays, discipline football, we got a good chance.
I would say this year the defense kind of gets overshadowed by the talk about the offense. In the past, Palmetto's defense, up until last year, that was the thing. Defense was where it was at. We weren't worried about the offense. Defense was going to hold, and offense would just have to get their points when they could get them. It's kind of nice having an offense, maybe the best offense we've ever had at Palmetto this year. How much pressure does that take off you guys when you get on the field? Knowing that the offense is going to score 30, 35 points every single game.
It just make us think like we good on our side. We just got to handle what we got to handle. And they going to handle the rest.
All right. That's pretty much all I got for you guys. Great game, Coach.
Sure, thank you.
Guys, keep it up. Hey, good week. Stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. Study. I know you got to go do some homework or something. So, great, guys. It was a great defensive game this week. Last week, these guys have just been playing a great against these two teams that we're supposed to beat. These are teams we're supposed to beat by a large margin, and that's what we've done each week. So as Coach Ty comes over, you don't want to struggle. A lot of times you get in these games where you think you're going to, you guys go ahead and have a seat. The camera's right behind you. You're going to have to move just a little bit here. But you get in these games where you are supposed to win big, and you kind of take it for granted. And we haven't done that. Defense has been strong, and it's kept us, from having to worry about that. Okay, so obviously I'm here with the offensive guys. We got a Coach Ty here. Coach, talk about the sustained offense this year. You guys have been impressive all year. Maybe the best offense we've had at Palmetto.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of good things. We still continue to shoot ourselves in the foot too much. The last couple of games we've been able to overcome those, but at some point that's not always going to be the case. So we got to clean that up and just make sure that we do everything on our end to be successful.
I got to tell you, we talked during the broadcast about the weapons that you have at your disposal, and it must be nice to look at the playbook and be able to pick any play you want, because we've got kids, we have to look up their numbers that are making amazing plays against these varsity defenses. How nice is it to have the depth at these skill positions? Not even our main guys. Our second, third, fourth string guys just making unbelievable plays.
Yeah, it's awesome. It definitely makes my job a lot easier, whether it's an injury or whatever the issue may be. If somebody goes down, the next guy steps up, and that's the attitude you want. And that's it. It goes out to these kids. They've worked hard, all off season and everything. Little league prepping for this situation. I couldn't be happier.
Okay, who do you bring over here with you today?
All right, so we got Ethan Ingham, we got LeJonte Wester, all right, and we got our man Corian over there.
Corian, you had a big game tonight. You're a heck of a player. It seems lately you've been the man on the spot with a lot of big plays. Talk about the difference early in the season and how you've kind of started to come out and be more productive.
With last season being out, I had to come back hungry this season and work my butt off to, help these guys, that freshman team that we got up and now, and just ball and go out hard. And yeah, so.
All right, Jonte, I was giving you a hard time. You are probably the shiftiest, fastest. The moves you have are just ridiculous. And so I gave you a hard time earlier because it's the first time you've run a touchdown or a kickoff back for a touchdown this year. Been very close many, many times. What was the difference in this kickoff? Did you do anything different? Did you see anything different, or was it just available?
It was just available. Everybody did their assignments, and I just saw the hole and I broke it.
Again, I'm asking you the same question as I did Coach Ty. How great is it that you have such a great supporting cast on offense? You are the main go-to guy. You, Johnny Jones, probably the two main guys that we lean on. But you've got Corian behind you. You've got all these other guys that are playing. out of their minds, and so you don't have to feel that pressure. How's it feel to know that someone else can make a play and you don't have to carry the load completely on your back?
I mean, it's great. We all work hard in practice, so when game time comes, we just treat it like another day of getting better at practice. So, yeah.
That's great. Now, I'm an ex-lineman, so I know that nothing happens for you speed guys that get your name all over the place, touchdowns, everybody's, lifting you up. If you don't have these big sweaty guys in there knocking people around, you guys have had a great year offensive line. I see you guys laughing on the sidelines, dancing, just having a great time. Talk about the unity of this offensive line group.
I mean, we have a great unit this year. I mean, we have a great left tackle, Lee Matthews. We have a great left guard in Ryan Cotton. We have a great center in Luke Gullett. And we have, this game we had Sam Pasco at right guard, and then me at right tackle. We're just a bunch of brothers on there. We're just a good unit, good solid unit. We work hard every day in practice, and we just bond as the brothers. And when we talked about it in the pregame, it's kind of like the Marines. You got to trust your brother next to you, and if you trust him next to you, you're gonna get the job done.
That's great. It's great to hear. And again, what they do couldn't happen without you. But what you do, how nice is it to have these weapons to where we can throw the ball out quick and you don't have to sustain a block, even though you guys are doing it, even though you're pancaking people all over the field. How great is it to know that even if you miss a block or you don't get someone right where they are, these guys are going to pick the ball up and just make some crazy, ankle-breaking play?
I mean, it's great. We have a ton of athletes out there at wide receiver, at running back. I'm blessed and fortunate to have those guys there, because we trust them, They're also our brothers as well. Our whole offense, we just run as a whole unit. And, you got to have trust on offense, and I trust them, and, they trust us, to give them time and protection, and, it works out in the end.
Coach, other than minimizing mistakes, like you said, and just focusing on Venice coming up, what else does this offense need to do to get better? I mean, do you feel like you're hitting on all cylinders at this point, just a few little mistakes here, or do you feel like this offense can get that much better?
We're close. We definitely have to execute on everything. But in terms of red zone, we definitely have to clean up some things in that area. Like I said, we go out every drive, we plan to score. And if we're not doing that, we're not happy. So like I said, just all around, especially in the red zone area, if we can clean that up, it gets real from here on out.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining me today. And you guys stay out of trouble this week and go beat Venice for us, okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Tiger fans. On behalf of the coaching staff and the players, on behalf of the TigerVision staff, all the guys in the trailer making it all happen, the guys who really make it happen, Jordan and Christian and all those guys in there, and Nick, and, just running the wires and setting up the cameras. They're the ones that really make all this happen. They don't get enough credit for what they do. So on behalf of the broadcast crew, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. And we certainly know, we hope, but we know you'll be tuned in next week for this match against Venice. This is the whole shebang right here against Venice. So show some support. Let's get out there. Let's watch the game. Let's tweet. Let's get people excited about the game this week, and let's beat Venice. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great week.